it starts with
Unionise the
silence,
workers.
'cause I lied.
Seed's the means of production.
Welcome.
All lie.
Okay, fair.
How do you pronounce bourgeoisie with hatred?
Bourgeoisie.
No,
Bourgeois.
Burgoys.
That sounds like a
Burger.
sauce.
Burgers.
You're thinking of a Bernays.
Sauce. Sounds like it's somewhere between Worcestershire and barbecue sauce.
Worcestershire is such an awful word.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
No, don't. Hush, Ewan. All of you, shush. We welcome you all back to Twisted Fates, where, should I timestamp this episode considering the channel's like
Yes.
4 episodes behind? Okay,
Yes.
so timestamping this is just after Christmas, just after New Year, and a day before our year anniversary of our first recording. You guys will probably be seeing this maybe 4 or 5 weeks from now. Well, from when it's recorded anyway. As I actually have to try and remember what the fuck happened last time, but thankfully my notes kind of helped with that.
Big mommy spider.
It was Big Mommy Bebelith, actually, Paul. As
It has alliteration.
the 4
I
of
hate
you,
both of you.
as the 4 of you, with the assistance of Hyde, continue to travel through the caverns underneath Ilvania, heading to what looked like a connection to the Underdark, or at least one much prior, that had been ruined and collapsed and had been taken over by spiders, which I very much loved and did not hate myself for including for the whole session. But, thankfully, after some trials and tribulations, realising that these weren't normal arachnids, after trying to burn their webs and nearly setting you all on fire, and after we sadly lost Peter, but redeemed a hero in Parker, Marcusar's 2 conjured spiders, you guys were able to at least remove yourselves from the nest and get back out into the wastes. Though when you took your rest in the ruins of some crumbling buildings not too far from the entrance to the Underdark, you did so alone, as during the fight, one of the Bebeliths, the aptly named Big Mommy Bebelith, attempted to grapple Marcusar and Hyde. Marcusar able to get out through the assistance of Parker. Hyde was not so lucky. However, he was able to retaliate against the Bebelith, dominating it and taking control of its mind, causing it to fall into the fissure. Ewan, control yourself.
Ewan's fit to burst.
Look, I've gone slightly stir crazy.
Being kept inside does that to you.
Now I know what a hamster feels like.
Rage.
As possibly not wanting to take any more damage, or possibly not wanting to risk death, he turned invisible and disappeared, leaving the 4 of you to deal with the rest of the Bebeliths and escape on your own, where even when the dust settled and you guys were able to take a long rest, he has not resurfaced. Or at least when you sat down to rest, he had not resurfaced. You are not too sure where he is and whether he'll come back or not, as I untangle myself from cables. As we have a little bit, I guess, of a chill start to the session, considering you kind of had combat after combat going into the last 2. Not to say that that might not happen later today, but for just now, we rejoin the 4 of you inside of the ruins. There are little numbers of blights outside. There are quite a few, but none seem to have noticed you or paying you much mind in this area, as the 4 of you will have had your long rest. For, I guess, those of you who will have needed it, Ran, Wolfric, Eidolon, you guys will have had your sleep. Eidolon probably less so, but that's not too unfamiliar at this point. And Marcusar, you obviously have the choice whether you would have slept, tried to sleep off some of the stress, or whether you would have just tranced.
We spent the last bit of it taking care of Parker. He was a good boy.
And then you sadly have to say goodbye to him when he's dispelled.
Yeah.
I want to see a chimeric fusion of Parker and Eddie too.
No.
Or like,
No, you don't.
actually, I can't remember if I said it last session, but I imagine when he faded, he just like 3 of his arms like went up to his head and saluted.
Saluted.
You did, because I remembered we all did a salute for him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure how we ended last episode of last year was literally saluting
Mr.
Parker.
Wild, I don't feel so good.
Don't ever call
Literally
yourself
a
Mr. Wild
spoiler.
again. As yes, you guys have little direction, you don't really know where you are, and the four of you are in the top kind of floors of a ruined building, where technically Eidolon, Marcusar, can you give me perception checks, because you're usually the first ones up and about.
Andy. First roll of the new year.
Woo!
Make it count, boys.
31.
Okay, but that's bullshit. Nah, 27. Some good rolls for
You're
2022.
rolling real numbers.
Paul! That's bullshit. Paul immediately rolls only 4 less than that.
But like, I rolled it with a modifier that's 6 less.
Hey, when we finish this, Marcusar will also have double digits to perception. So... something I never thought would happen, but hey ho, here we are.
What do we see?
Well, with a 27 you see nothing.
What do your elf eyes see?
I see nothing with a 27.
Well, for that attitude, maybe.
Okay, apologies.
The two of you getting up, kind of, I guess, surveying your surroundings at least as much as you can. I guess Marcusar are more following in tandem for Eidolon, considering Eidolon would be up, probably already trying to find a way to where you guys need to go, and Marcusar are just trying to be helpful. Turns out you are pretty helpful, as the two of you can see quite a clear path, I guess, through these streets. This part of the set, like this part of town or this part of the city, perhaps because of that connection to the Underdark, seems to be less populated with blight, making it obviously a lot easier for the four of you to navigate, even with Wulfric in his heavy armour. It looks like if you were to attract any attention here, it would be very minimal, but you are both able to, at least from this height, it might be different when you're on the ground, able to trek and path away further into the mists. Both of you as well, with your results, are able to at least see the, I guess in the distance, the point of your destination. This kind of almost fuzzy in your vision, just thanks to the thickness of the mist. This very thin, almost kind of wonky or almost kind of crumbling tower that seems to stand off in the distance, very stark against this dark landscape, as it almost looks like it's made from perhaps white stone or marble. Tarnished in places and very dark as it climbs up towards the top, but with your perception checks you are able to see that if nothing was to go wrong and you were able to kind of keep yourselves unavoided for the rest of your journey, you'd probably only be able to get there in maybe an hour or two darting through the buildings. That's being careful, of course, not keeping yourselves to the open and obviously trying to, I guess, lessen the risk of combat as much as possible on your way there. It's not too far away at all. Similarly, with your perception checks getting into that morning, with Ranagash and Wulfric starting to stir and get up as well, you are able to hear not footsteps but almost thuds starting to climb up the ruined building, and not so much climb up the staircase but climb up the walls aside them. As would the two of you do anything?
I guess first I'd look over at Marcusar if he's the other one who's clearly awake, and see if he's actually heard anything.
I haven't heard anything. Nothing too concerning. Like, we seem to be okay right now, other than just like, oh, there's blights about, like, but there's always blights about.
Excepting the bumps coming from behind us.
Well, perhaps we should be concerned about that.
I guess if Marcusar's not walking over, having a hand on the hilt of the sword, but not drawing it just yet, going over to at least closer to the entrance. Try peering ever so slightly.
Can you give me a dex save?
Do I have Wulfric's bonus?
You would. He would still be technically in your radius, as you're in a very small enclosed space at the moment.
So, with proficiency in every save, and Wulfric's bonus, that's cool. That's a nice number. That's a 28.
You're fine, you're not knocked back, you're not knocked prone, as almost launching themselves through the grate, through the space, through the emptiness, and past you, the side of the staff almost scraping against you and knocking you back.
That would be unpleasant.
It would have been. As Hyde seems to jump through the hole, perching himself upon the staff, looking over, well, the two of you, and for Ran and Wulfric, now awake. the young boy seems to have rejoined you.
Certainly the least unpleasant thing to come out of the hole.
What else would you expect?
You know, the thing that last time we saw you tried to kill us.
Yes, I did not want to be killed by that.
And neither did we, hence we fought our way through and made it here. It's at least pleasant to see you're not dead. Do you know where we go from here?
Yes. I ran, but I also looked. There is a way we can go. The tower is not far.
It wouldn't happen to be more gesturing at the trail that both me and Marcus were able to witness. That way? Or is there another set of cave systems filled with spiders for us to go through?
I did not know about the spiders. They have never bothered me before. And no, this is where the caves stop.
Is the assumption of the trail correct?
Yes. It would be best to stay low down. There are more of the flying beasts here.
And perchance do they get bigger the further we go?
No. Most of them are as big as they come. Except one.
One.
There is one that is larger than the rest.
How big we talking? Like, stop me.
I don't think you have long enough arms.
I'm correct, Marcus, I think we've seen it before.
I'm sure.
It doesn't usually fly, it stays by the tower. It can do what I can do, it can turn invisible.
Well, that certainly explains what happened in the cave. And what happened in Kinreen.
I don't know how it does it, but then I don't know how I do it.
Doesn't really matter how it does it. The only reason it would matter is if we knew that, is if knowing gave us a way to stop it from doing it.
Is there a way of getting past it?
I tried to avoid it. The only reason I'm getting this close is because you asked me to bring you here.
Well, hopefully us being there is a big enough distraction to keep it there, and if we learn how to stop it from doing it early on, that's just a bonus.
Yeah. we just
Ran,
gotta be-
any way to see things that aren't there?
I don't think so. Yeah, I got nothing. Well, if you mean invisibility, invisibility at least.
Well, if you see about lighting it on fire and seeing if the flames stay when it goes away, that could work.
I suppose.
Does,
I mean,
does invisibility count as a magical effect?
Depends on the type, I think.
Out of character and just in general, if it's via spell, yes. If it's innate ability, no. However,
So if it's like casting invisibility, then it would count.
however, if it has a magical signature on it, detect magic would pick it up. On a similar vein,
Okay.
that a fairy-fired creature can turn invisible, and the fairy fire would stay.
Okay. There's more spell magic. But
I'm also of the belief that if Ranagash just casts an immolation, I don't think the fires go invisible.
I feel like the problem is I have to see it to emulate it.
Just
Well, if you see it
just
before it
immolate
goes
the
away.
general vicinity and see what
I
happens.
feel like I don't have enough spell slots for that.
Fuck the general area of where you might be.
no, we might get by with just like detect magics and whatnot.
The only problem with detect magic is that's obviously like a full action, and if we're in the middle of trying to fight it,
Yeah.
it might be a problem. Though if we proc it before we start, it could always work. But
Get the jump
unless
on it.
unless we've got any other things to plan before heading in, it's probably best just starting the trudge along.
Yeah.
We've got all our resources, we're all at full health. If anyone's got any buffs they want to hand around, this would be the time to do it.
Probably buff on the way.
Let me see.
I don't have anything, being a monk, surprisingly.
You're also looking for something ideally that probably lasts half an hour to an hour. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute ain't gonna last for this. So you want to hold those ones for later.
We just need like everybody to cast heroism at once, because that's a full minute.
I think Ran can cast heroism.
I think the only thing I can give everyone is protection from poison.
That might not be bad considering the blights do poison, acid, and necrotic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Wolfric
I
halves
only
that
have-
damage. Eidolon heals
An
that
hour.
damage. Ran
You
has
give it to
no,
Ran.
Ran has no protection from it.
It would give Ran permanent resistance to poison damage and advantage on any save against being poisoned in any way.
It's an action, so I don't have to do it straight away. I can do it when we get there.
Or you could do it now because it lasts an hour and it's not concentration.
But did I not say it'll take us about an hour or so to get there?
I
So-
said as long as the effect of the spell is about half an hour to an hour, that'll be
Yeah.
worth it. If you've got anything less than that, then it's not going to be worth it because it'll be over by the time you get there.
I think she's insinuating that the walk there might be 20 minutes.
Give or take.
Hey Radagash, hey Radagash, take this. I smack him on the back.
I'm so glad you said back.
Smack his cheeks.
Just smack my ass like a drum.
Go get him, sport, and I just like give him a pat on the back.
Football
Give
tap.
you protection from give you protection from poison.
Here's a protection from poison because you're worth it.
Okay.
Here's a chalky milk. 'Cause
You're
shit.
awesome.
Is while on this journey, as technically I do need you to make stealth checks just in case.
Alright, let's not do badly.
So
Yeah, just don't roll bad.
That easy.
Yeah.
N.
It's not bad.
Oh.
Don't roll badly, they said.
No, Matthew, look, it's just that easy.
what could go wrong? They said.
I hope mine pulls our average up.
Definitely not by enough.
No. Just don't roll badly. I should never speak again.
Our average is 10.5.
Yeah,
That's
this
above
is-
10.
it's not a great average.
Hope the DC was 10.
I mean, in D&D, most things like round down, so that might just
Yeah.
pass. No, for Marcusar and Ranagash, I need you both to make me Constitution saving throws. Ran, yours is with disadvantage. It's easy for me
Oh
to say
boy.
tonight.
Welcome to the nat ones. Hey, you're getting them out of the way now
On
rather
save.
than later.
2d20.
Con save, yes.
Disadvantage.
Is that with Wolfric's plus 4?
You'll have Wolfric's bonus because obviously you're nearby right now, so you'll be all good.
Just
Cool.
check. Disadvantage.
Yeah,
Right.
you are disadvantaged, Ram.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yay, that's pretty good.
And you still roll higher than me.
I mean,
Paul.
not by much though, Paul.
I
I mean,
know.
let's hope for a DC 15.
As thankfully the two of you are not affected for now.
Oh.
Like that.
That's worse.
As this will come towards the end of your journey, as following Hyde and also kind of following the trail that Marcusar and Eidolon had kind of had, you guys are able to almost disperse yourselves and navigate through these narrow alleyways, through these streets and through these corridors, through these ruined buildings, managing to avoid the blight. Though this is the first time that the four of you have really had much exposure to the mists, to the blight itself, and the closer you seem to be getting to your destination, the heavier the mist seems to be getting. And as you start to, I guess, approach what looks like almost the site of a meteor or an impact site of a crater, this centralized part of the city that just is rocked with decimation, the mist seems to almost be, I guess, alive. It seems to start to circle you. It's not so much this kind of dark purple colour that just seems to lie on the ground or hang in the air. It's a bit more vibrant. It has white, almost pink hues flowing through it, making it almost fluorescent, other word, like glow in this darkness, creating a warm, almost humming noise in the background, where for Ranagash and Marcusar, it seems to affect you more than most, as perhaps through its whimsy or perhaps through the setting, you are a little bit more distracted coming into this space where you feel the pressure of this mist, almost like a force weighing you down, slowing you down, almost getting into your lungs, and you almost feel yourselves rotting from the inside out.
Guys, I got a stomachache.
Maybe we should go back.
Your tummy hurt.
As with, I guess, the journey coming to a possible end, we'll need to see how this goes. At least your journey in Ilvania, you guys reach the center point of this crater, where perhaps at the base of an old fountain, you're not too sure, this kind of almost raised platform that still seems to be intact to some degree, though devastation lies around it. There appears to be a stone arch, relatively large, relatively tall, with nothing appearing in the center of it, though this almost glowing mist seems to be emanating from it. Perhaps there is something there that your eyes just cannot perceive, but there is something there nonetheless, as not too far from it, towering through rubble and ruin, you guys are able to see a tower. This tower seems to stand out from the rest of Ilvania, something that Marcusar, Eidolon, you will have seen before, and technically Ran, you will have also seen before, though only in your dreams, possibly your nightmares. It's up to him to decide. As upon first glance, it almost looks like it's made out of white or polished marble. This kind of ivory colour that seems to reach up into the sky, though the further it reaches through the mist, the more discoloured it becomes. This kind of almost, I guess, blackness starts to permeate and destroy the perfection of this monument, though upon closer inspection perhaps it's not perfection and more horror, as it is not marble, it is not ivory, but a lot of the structures for this tower that seem to almost be writhing and wriggling the further you go up are bone and bodies. The whole thing seems to be crafted from remains. They seem to pile and tumble into the rocks, into the rubble, and watch over the rest of the plain. Perhaps these are the bodies that were no longer of use to the Blight, or perhaps these are something else entirely, but it is there nonetheless. A pile of remains from possibly people past and present. But in this expanse, which my boys can see on our Roll20 and I will put up on the screen for the rest of you, in this emptiness, there is nothing. There is no one. There is silence.
Just that arch.
Just the arch in the middle. No one seems to be here.
I don't like seams.
I shall detect magic.
I feel like you're about to get flashbanged by the amount of magic that's here.
Yeah, can I get a con?
I'm used to. I mean, hide already blinds me, doesn't
Can I
he?
get a con save, Paul? Yeah,
Oh.
hide is very blinding, but this is also a little bit blinding. Nice, you boys are doing well tonight. I'll just kind of cover the nat 1 and the 4. As Marcusar, you are not blinded. This place is very magical. You can almost see the trails, the wisps of mist. You can see the movements of it, where perhaps you're slightly horrified as the mist itself doesn't appear to be gaseous. Of course, you've got sunglasses.
Wait, well, you said it was like kind of bright, you know.
Maybe we should take what might be the final encounter of this campaign slightly more seriously.
What's a
There's
little
no better
bit
time to. There's no better time to have fun with it.
when you know that you're about to die.
Exactly.
Yeah, as the mist doesn't seem entirely gaseous, as through your detect magic, again, perhaps it creeps you out slightly as you felt this almost crawl inside your body, and Ran had a very similar experience, this kind of chill down your spine, as moving through the mist seems to be almost spectral hands. Spectral tendrils. Things that are reaching out, things that are grabbing, things that are moving and pushing and pulling. They are almost sentient as they reach and come out of this archway.
They're reaching out of the archway and just sort of like clawing at shit.
Yes, and manoeuvring and moving around. As with your detect magic, can you give me a perception check?
Shall?
Not bad.
18.
That's not bad at all. As now I get to move some stuff. Technically you guys will have come in about here. So I will pop you guys all on the map.
Look at us, we're all there.
Okay, I'll actually do this because then it's fair on Markstar.
Is that his circle of
Yes, so
whatever you
you've
call
got Wolfric's aura and then the rest of you.
Yeah.
You should also be able to move all of yourselves as well. Hopefully I fixed that. Thanks, Paul. Very cool.
it? See you, suckers! And I go through the. No, I don't.
That would be a really bad idea. It's
full
also
of bad
not
ideas.
active right now. Also for yourself, Matthew, because I know obviously Ran stays behind, and for distance, each of these squares is about 10 feet.
Okay.
So it's your double your normal footage.
Damn, I could have made it all the way there if it wasn't.
The reason it is 10 feet is because of that.
Oh, hello.
Which technically none of you see, except Marcusar. As
These are like the weird hands that I'm seeing.
no, that's something else.
Okay.
That's the dragon.
Great.
As the weird hands are the weird hands. The tendrils, the tentacles are everywhere else and just maneuvering and moving as they come. The giant black orb is because I don't have a token for what it actually is. As through your detect magic, it is not so much the invisibility you are able to pick up, as you are not able to get to the outline of the creature, but you can get a scale of its size, as for some reason, with your detect magic, you are able to see a... When I say giant, it is probably if you stood Wolfric on top of Eidolon, that kind of giant.
Okay.
Crystalline structure, with almost these veins and tendrils seeping off of it to create almost a functioning system, like a... Fuck, what's it actually called? The
Like
biologist...
nervous system?
No, the other one. For your blood.
Cardiovascular system.
That one.
Yeah.
As you can almost see the crystal forming this through magic, through the blighted magic. For a creature that is gigantic, and for a creature that appears to be moving very fluidly, very quickly through the mists, not entirely materializing, though with your detect magic up, you're also able to see that it seems to be moving and changing its shape. As you are still able to see it moving around, the rest of you cannot.
Can I tell from... You say it's like I can see its sort of cardiovascular system. Can I make any sort of assumptions on what sort of beast this system... Like, can I quite clearly see legs, or a tail, or a head, or wings, or any sort of animal traits through this vascular system?
You can pretty much see that... Well, you have two options in terms of what you can see with its actual internals. It is either a reptilian or it's a horse. You can make a safe
It's
bet
either
on...
a reptilian or a horse.
You can make a safe bet on which one it probably is. As there are parts of its system that almost seem to be bitten out or chewed or missing. But considering what Hyde had told you, and considering what you already know to accompany Gaerdrah, it is more likely the latter, or sorry, the former, not the horse. It's not a horse.
It's the horse from episode 2.
What, the one that he killed?
This is its comeback.
Revenge of the
for
Horse.
Mark.
Oh God, what a fucking twist that would be.
As it is most likely not a horse, more likely a reptilian, and given your knowledge, it is most likely that reptilian.
Has it noticed us?
You don't know. As it
Or would
horse
I-
seems to be moving.
You say this space that we're in is very just like empty, but I imagine we're just kind of on the edges of it.
Yes.
Maybe at the moment, maybe in some sort of cover.
There's not much.
Okay, well, I tell the party it's like, it's right there, and I just like point out into the space in front of us.
Out into the void.
Yeah, it's there.
When you say it,
that. You know, it.
We can't see what you're pointing at.
Well, I'm aware of that. I can see a giant beast.
Well, it's part of the reason we're here, Marcusar, so in some ways we can at least be relieved.
Yes, but there's also like hands reaching out of that arch.
Absolutely none of this is normal. I really this is really just complex and weird shit. I barely knew what magic was until about 6 months ago, right?
And look where you are now.
This is like punch after punch after punch.
I mean, if you'd like a slight reassurance of like certainty of what something might or might not be, that's where the blight comes from. And the tower behind it is where the person who controls the blight exists. That was supposed to be stories, but when seeing it, it's a little bit hard to dismiss it.
So Gaerdrah's up there.
This is
Gaerdrah
your
does not
first time
control
seeing
the
it.
blight.
Is it the wolf?
The wolf is the pawn of the person who controls the blight in the stories
mean
we
the-
have.
What you mean? You mean it's not the wolf?
Ran, Scourged, Lord.
I was waiting for it.
This
I haven't forgotten.
Gaerdrah?
Ran had trouble pronouncing Scourged Lord. The
Ran has a
wolf
bit
is
of a
simply
speech impediment.
the wolf is simply, I guess, muscle he employs.
Okay.
The Darth Maul to his Palpatine.
The
That-
fuck are you talking about, Marcusar?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The Green Hand just LARPed the entirety of Star Wars. Yeah, it's not our problem, though. We're not here to end this whole thing. We have our own vendetta.
So let's set up a hierarchy of priorities.
I like how we're having this discussion when the dragon is right in front of us.
He hasn't has he still not noticed this, or
I don't think
you
I'd be
can't
able
tell,
to know.
you don't know.
All you can see is it's a cardiovascular system. I don't think you could be able to work out if it's seen us.
oh, could I tell if the vascular system is orientated to be looking at us?
It would if it had a normal internal and wasn't
No,
a
okay,
partial
fair enough.
zombie.
This is the zombie dragon.
Zombie dragon. Of course, the zombie dragon. I should. Yeah.
I'm looking to buy a new
So
tower,
what?
guys.
So what's first? This dragon, the arch, or this Scourged Lord in that tower?
We're not dealing with the Scourged Lord.
Okay, so dragon or archway.
Well, listen, the dragon's gonna cause problems for us anyway. So for now, we deal with the assumption that it isn't even there, and we go to try destroy that archway.
Where is Gaerdrah? Do we know where he is?
If Marksar can't see him, then we don't know.
Okay.
I can't see
But
him,
if the
can I?
dragon's here, he probably won't be far behind.
Okay, so I'm going to operate under the assumption that he can currently hear us right now. In which case, I want him to know that I hate him.
I feel that goes without saying by the fact that we came all the way here. It's in the actions.
Kill him.
Yes.
Just so just so there's absolutely no mystique about what we're doing. We're going to murder him.
Yes.
You ever hate
we-
someone so much that you travel hundreds of miles into like a dead and cursed land to pick a
Listen,
fight?
Wolfric, we've sugarcoated for a lot of people, but when it's just the four of us, we can very healthily and happily say,
we are committing the most direct act of now. They say turn the other cheek in most cases, but in this particular case, fuck this guy, he needs to die.
Wolfric, in our case, the other cheek is death.
Yeah, yes. It's neither him or us situation. Let's deal with this archway and let's see if we can bait him out.
Either we destroy the arch and he comes out before or after. Either
Yeah,
way,
he'll
we
show up
get
at
what
some
we
point.
want.
At some point, either way, he's falling into our hands. Because I have a plan.
Well, let me tell you what my plan is.
Here's
for
the dragon.
fuck's sake.
It can talk. I thought it could talk, actually.
As I need to make an attack roll.
Too long talking.
I like to imagine we were walking ever so slightly forward as we were having this conversation.
Here,
I
just
mean,
like,
no,
Yeah.
she's just polite.
Aw.
Oh no,
I will
use.
make an exception because she is very polite.
That's why Gaerdrah's allowed to keep it so near the tower.
As Eidolon, does a 28 hit you?
Well, the 18 plus 5. Yes. I'm not gonna shield that. Yeah, that hits.
As I don't need my Google for this one because these are dice I can manage.
Is any of this poison? Just before you say.
No. It
Oh.
is all the bludgeoning.
It's going into me.
That is 22 damage going straight into
That's-
you.
I'm still on triple digits. That makes me happy.
That is
You've been
perfectly
punched in
fine.
Flex.
You've been punched in
As
the mouth by a dragon.
not so much punched. As well, you all are able to hear the voice to some degree, and Marcus, are you able to see as slowly the, I guess, internals, this crystal starts to almost beat faster, the light, the magic starting to glow faster, as around it almost starts to solidify. These clots, these pustules, these almost tumorous growths starting to almost grow from the center and start to surround each of the veins, each of the, I guess, points, as well as the heart itself, as, at least for the other three of you, the creature just comes into being, formed from mist, whereas because you can see its magic, Marcusar, you can actually see it essentially grow and move.
Do I see it grow out of, like, is it just growing out in all directions, or is it going out from a single point, a weak spot, if you will?
This very large crystal seems to be where it all congeals, and that's where it comes out from, and then it kind of grows from the rest of the veins.
Can I ask out of concern
Just-
what has happened to me?
Yeah, I need to grab Eidolon.
Have I been grappled?
Eidolon's going over
in-game.
here now.
In game,
Same
that's terrifying. Out of game, that's disgusting.
Can I
Yeah.
potentially say something? Does it grab me and throw me, or just push me?
It is a tail,
It's a tail. Damn.
as its tail forms and backhands you across the map.
Does the tail count as a projectile?
No.
Does the tail count as a projectile?
I'll probably keep
I
it.
got
If you-
asked.
If a halfling leapt at Eidolon, would the halfling count as
Yes.
a projectile?
Fucking
that
yes,
would
it
count
does.
as a projectile.
So I just got batted away. See you guys. How far did that move me? 100
I'd like
feet.
to imagine this was mid-conversation, so we just hear,
I'll
we
put
just
you
see
against the
Marcus,
archway.
or we see Eidolon get fucking batted away by nothing, and then we see it.
Yeah, essentially it almost morphs. It comes into being as this thing is moving around, as this thing is morphing and coming into being, as its head coils round. This entire body now blocking most of the sight for the three of you and for Hyde to the rest of the battlefield, as this dragon's head almost plonks itself down quite close to yourself, Wolfric, as it coils round the three of you.
Or hides there.
Right.
Well, yeah, but
Let's clear a few things up first. You're the one that attacked the Iron Dragon convoy and launched me into the gorge, right?
and you're the one that got away.
Cool, prepare to die.
Need to clear a
As
few things.
Inigo Montoya.
Let's clarify a few things. One thing.
death.
Cool, it's murder time.
As I need the
Well,
four
for
of you
the
to roll
simple
me
man.
initiative.
Oh, it's combat time. Gaerdrah's not here.
Yeah,
We have to find
Gaerdrah's
them.
not here.
We have to fight the mini boss first.
Oh, and then the main
11.
spawns. 16. That's good.
Oh yes, Radagon! Oh yes!
How does that?
I think that's the best initiative you've ever had, Ran, and I don't know if that's one you wanted in your life.
Why
No.
is this the initiative we do well on? Where are these rolls every other game?
I've been
Also-
biding my time.
So I suggested a plan to Matthew, but unfortunately because Ranagash does not have the spell, we cannot enact the plan, which involved the sphere and telekinesis.
When did you two form this plan?
We formed this plan ages ago,
hmm
but
You're
Ranagash
like, hey,
doesn't have telekinesis, so it
You're like,
won't
hey, I
work.
have a plan. Does Ran have the spell? And he's like, unfortunately, no. You're like, understandable. Have a nice day.
Understandable.
Listen, I'm too far away. I can offer you guys a wall of fire, and that's about it.
I can offer
When
you
the
a
two
wall of fire.
politest, when the two politest members of the party tried to form a plan.
When I formed the plan to wall of fire the wolf with Matthew, I essentially told him, Matthew, what's your portents? And then I asked him politely afterwards if I can have one.
Wait, what are your portents? Oh, you've got
Good
a
question.
2.
He
May I
has,
borrow that?
he
We
has
have a
May I
2 and a
borrow
5 on this side, and then on the good side we have a 15 and a 20.
Those
may
are
I borrow,
good.
May I borrow the 2 when the time comes to it? I will let you know when I will need it.
Okay.
Also,
If that's
Matthew,
okay. You weren't planning on using it.
I would like to request something.
Mm-hmm.
I have a suspicion that either we kill the dragon, then Gaerdrah appears, or in like circa 5 seconds.
as we get to start off initiative, where I have
With
not as many things to
Panache.
manage, which is very, very beneficial for me, and it's also hilarious because Matthew, what the fuck you doing?
Very good question. How badly do we want to fuck this thing up? I'm guessing a lot.
Yes.
Actually, no, I'm feeling a bit indifferent. I only want to fuck up like a little bit.
I have to balance my arsenal of fucking up between this and Gaerdrah is the problem.
That's fair.
So let's start off nice and easy. You know, just ease it in with the patented Ranagash maneuver of running the fuck away.
He's about to perform the patented Joestar maneuver.
The patented Joestar technique.
Right, so let's start it off with a cheeky 4th level fireball. No
I
T.
mean, it's certainly got enough space to not drop it on the party.
Yeah. How does fireball scale? So I will require a dex save, please.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm once again asking.
Relish in the fact that you get a choice.
19.
That's disappointing.
You're not giving me a choice.
I mean, no, but I feel like it's.
Still takes
You see-
the damage.
Yes.
See, these two want on my slot, so it's 96 halved. So bam, bam. Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Still
96
takes the damage.
Over 2.
Arc 5.
That's kind of.
That's kind of bad,
Yeah.
but not as bad as it could have been.
So there we go. That's.
I mean, hey, You gotta start every combat somewhere.
Mhm.
You gonna bonus action him with a spell?
Um.
Got that ring.
I do got the ring. I don't. It's not fully charged, so I gotta be careful. I do have bonus action spells, don't I?
Did you not get all your ring charges back when we slept?
I didn't. I did not. I rolled for it. I only got 2 back because I rolled a 1.
Yikers.
Yeah.
This
Right,
is a
could
bonus
all the
action,
way.
isn't it? It's not a bonus action. Which one of these is a bonus action? This is the problem with taking like a month
Away.
between game sessions. Is that I forget which of. Is this
You
a
should-
bonus
We could
action?
have
You should
continued
keep
to
like
play
a-
over the Christmas period. I thought, no,
Yeah.
you guys want to spend time with your families. We could have been playing D&D.
I didn't say it was the wrong decision. I just said there was consequences, and it turns out none of them cast on an action, but some of them can be recast
will
as
you
a bonus action. So
You
I'm
should
just
keep
gonna
rolling.
vibe. That will be me for now.
Is Rand vibes.
As I check all my spells again.
Marcus R.
My turn?
Yep.
Do I waste a really big spell just to try and get this done as quickly as possible? I kind of think yes. How many 10-foot cubes does this thing occupy?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 45.
45. That's great. So I can fit 10 10-foot cubes, all with it on his person, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Fuck this dragon already, man.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Is it 7d10 fire damage per cube or just total?
Is this Firestorm?
Yes, it is Firestorm. Is it 7d10 per cube or just or just within each like attack? I don't know. 'Cause that if I could fit that 70 D10 sounds broken.
How many times can you deal Firestorm to a single creature?
I'm assuming one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's kind of my
Because the
thinking, is
area,
if you can only
the
do it
area
once,
is the cubes.
then it doesn't matter how many cubes you put on a creature, it will only
Yeah,
take
it's-
the damage once.
Okay, fair enough. I won't waste that.
What I will... Well, if
Okay,
you don't want
if
to.
you'd like an
Oh wait, no. Is there a rule of cool coming here?
if,
If you get
if you'd
70
like
D10 damage.
if you'd like the actual wording, I can provide you with it.
Yes.
Essentially, you're creating multiple areas. You're just rolling the 7d10 flat. It's not dealing it multiple times. It's just these are the areas where a set of creatures will take 7d10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be, no matter how many you put on it, it's still just a creature having a
7d10.
chance to be dealt 7d10.
And I shan't.
So you can put the Firestorm on a lot of like creatures in an army to force them all to take 7d10.
What
but
I
one
was
each.
going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say for you, Paul, rule of cool wise, is if you wanted to put all of your pillars of Firestorm on it, I would
Yeah.
roll a dex save for every single pillar.
See if it
Okay.
fails.
So you would essentially be, how many ones can you actually pop?
10.
10. So I would essentially roll 10 dex saves, and you would have 10 chances for me to fail.
And then
That's
for every
kind
for every fail, you would take a 70-10.
No, I think
No,
she's
I-
saying for
I just
if
take the 70-10 once, but
you're
have
giving
to-
him 10 chances to fail instead of just rolling one time.
Oh, that's tempting. But I might want to save it for later when we're maybe dealing with more enemies. God, I want to do it so bad though.
Do it. Just do it.
Or hold on, I did not plan for this. Can you tell?
If you had planned for it, I would have been almost perturbed.
Yeah. God, this thing's gonna have really good stats as well. It's just gonna like any save.
To be fair, it annoyingly, I don't know if I'm right because of what happened with Ranagash, but it should be bad at Dex.
Maybe Firestorm is the best one.
Because it's really big.
It's really big. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Firestorm.
Cool. I will roll 10
Watch it
dex
fail
saves.
on the watch it fail on the
10.
first one.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, it has failed, but I also want
How
to...
badly?
Not as badly as you'd probably want.
Just fucker legendary resistance it.
I mean...
Oh no.
That's only 9 dice. I have one other roll, but there's 2 nat 20s in there. But positives, it does fail.
Fantastic. And
But that would have been really funny if you had done it single target, because I had 2 nat 20s in there, so it would have passed. So you do get to roll 7d10, as it will take some
Okay.
damage.
seeing the fire that Ranagash has put on the beast, kind of use those to like fan out and create this, engulf it in this 10 foot cubes of fire, and deal that much damage.
That's not bad. That's
This
more
is a
than
Not
good
bad.
bad.
dent.
That was my biggest spell.
Do you not have an 8th level spell slot?
I do not.
I don't think it's that level yet.
Yeah, we're only
Not at that
seven.
level. No. I don't get any. I didn't get any extra spells or anything this level. Well, I spell slots, but I did learn an extra spell, which I haven't actually chosen yet.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah.
As dragon comes up, it be the dragon's turn.
Dragon Mama goes.
Technically, but not that in my notes, and nor will it be that in my notes this time. As almost from its cracks in its body, from even the cracks in the ground, from this distilled earth, from this mist, it seems to start almost leaking this black mist that seems to mix with the purple swirl that surrounds, well, the 4 of you. And quite quickly, the 4 of you are plunged into darkness. Those of you with dark vision cannot see. This is
Magical darkness.
Even for yourself, Wulfric, the light of Arienne struggles to glow here. You struggle to see. Her light is dimmed. As there is a little bit of perhaps testing of the faith going on, as with her light dimming, you can almost feel that waver in you as the darkness is trying to make you succumb. As I technically need, well, the three of you and Hyde to make me a wisdom save. Marcusar, you're the only one that will get Wulfric's bonus. That's not good.
Hey, Matthew!
Hmm.
Good rolls tonight.
Look at these rolls,
Yeah.
Matthew.
I know.
He really did mean it when he said he was saving up.
As you all pass, and with advantage, sadly Hyde fails, but that's okay. As you can almost feel this mist, this pressure starting to almost strangle you, starting to restrain you, though you are able to at least bat it away, this kind of almost maddening sphere, that at least you are able to remove yourself from its influence for now. Hyde, however, is not as lucky. And now the dragon is in darkness. It doesn't really
Not
like,
good.
Doesn't really like Wulfric, let's be honest. Oh, Eidolon, it does have some ranged attacks that you could dodge, but you're too far away. That's
Also,
sad.
I'm not the thing this thing seems to simp over.
That's true, yes.
Don't call it that.
It's true.
Yeah.
though.
That's not how I would describe wanting someone dead.
But it could be. If you got emotional about it, Matthew.
I like the go down on the U on Matthew's name there. That worked really well.
That's because I rolled dice. As technically it would try and get them out of the way. So Marcusar, 27 to hit you,
Of course.
and it hits Hyde. And then Wulfric, a nat 20 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
Marcusar, can you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Have I still got Wolfric's thing?
You still have Wulfric's thing, but
I'm going to shortly not have his thing.
yes, you will shortly not have his thing.
Cool.
As I need to roll some damage, which is 1, 2 for Marcusar, then 1, 2 for Hyde, and then I'll do Wulfric's. Oof, that's not good.
No.
As Marcusar, you take math. 13, 20,
I hate math.
20 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's
Okay.
not bad, all things considered.
No triple digits.
I mean, you are still in triple digits. When I saw your health today, I was like, why do you have more health than the monk?
Well, we've got the same hit dice, and he has higher con.
6, 14,
Makes good sense.
14 damage.
I was saying to Em earlier, I opted for a higher con because I wanted to try and minimise the chances that I go down or die.
I mean, it's a good thing to do. Hyde automatically fails. So, Marcusar, you are now knocked back and prone. Hyde is also knocked back and prone. And then Wulfric, I will roll some damage and double it for yourself. What are my dice?
Make sure to remember that Wulfric has resistance to some damages.
Yeah. I will have to essentially roll these and then half some of it. So that's the halving. This is not the halving. As that would be math. Why can't so 20? Wulfric, you take 40 damage, and then you take 4 points of acid damage.
Catastrophic!
Curses! As out of the darkness, the light of Arienne, the light of your axe, starts to shimmer and shine, almost streaming down the edge of these very, very large nails, these very, very large claws, as the dragon from the darkness reaches out and takes a swipe at you, where you can also hear almost a battering noise, as suddenly from your area, from your aura, from your sights, Marcusar vanishes into the darkness. As Eidolon, you're on your own. There is now a big orb of darkness standing not too far from you, actually. It's quite a big radius, all things considered.
See, the funny thing is if I wanted to, I could see through that. But
Yes,
actually, I will in just a few seconds. But
you're also not alone.
I'm. Oh, that just took any thunder out of my like continuous statements. Can you elaborate, please?
That was my plan. That was kind of the the forward of.
You threw me off my rhythm.
Now he's off his rhythm.
You throw me off of mine. It's my turn to throw you off of yours. As stepping through the mist, stepping through the archway, stepping through the space, through the void, almost appearing as if they come from nothing. This amalgamate slowly starting to morph into a man you once knew. None of the rest of you, none the wiser to this situation, considering you're all in darkness at the moment. Hopefully that goes away soon, right? As you are confronted by Gaerdrah.
Is it Gaerdrah, or is this the one that can actually think?
This is Gaerdrah. He steps through part of the amalgamate, part of this hybrid, but as he does so, as he moves from the mist, you can see the mace crackling down his arm, breaking his bones, almost splintering through his palm, where the amalgamate stops shifting. It changes back to a man as he almost cracks his knuckle, gripping it around the mace, just kind of catching it before it falls as it almost seeps from his body. This weird, fleshy mace almost looking at you.
Oh, Eidolon, having just been battered against the edge of an archway, just takes his hand, uses it to just kind of puts his hand in between the stone for a second, pulls himself up. Takes the moment, not looking at Gaerdrah at the moment, keeping it in the corner of the eye and just dusting himself off. Do I have time for dialogue, or does that not count into my turn time?
You would have time for dialogue.
So I take it that's you then.
When has it ever not been me?
Taken far too used to you hiding behind someone now. Happened in the mists back there. It's happened plenty of times out in the wilds.
Perhaps when there is need for him, he can appear. Perhaps when he has to deal with something else, he can appear. For you, you are mine.
Well, that works perfectly fine for me. See, I wanted to ask you something. For the whole of this past few months. And for the longest time I haven't been able to get you to answer. What changed?
Can you give me a deck save, Eidolon?
Can do. Can I ask what's happening?
I will describe it to you, hopefully, if you pass.
13?
Hey, we rolled the same. As
Is that a pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
As his fist kind of clenches around the mace, as he kind of drags it along the floor, almost scraping some of the stone up towards your face, as even with steady or unsteady footing, kind of trying to balance yourself, you are able to block him. As I guess in a clash of blade and mace.
I mean, my blade isn't out yet. I never drew it yet.
It's more speed.
Okay. So what, did he punch forward? Or with his mace?
With his mace.
Cool.
If
It would
he-
be more if he's going to, I guess, overhead swing.
Yeah, kind of.
It would be the one step to the left with the right foot, putting the right arm up and just kind of bashing against his wrist, keeping it to the side.
As kind of locked almost, he kind of leans forward, leans in towards you. Nothing.
You know, small part of me didn't want to hear that. The rest of me's fine with it.
As technically now it's your turn in combat, Eidolon.
Yeah, since I've got the hand up like that, just a small bit of force pushing it slightly aside to grab the blade, and then since he's right there, I'm just going for a slash. I guess it's time just to start. I'm gonna need my body up real quick. Alright.
Well,
So,
you have your
non-nat
body,
20?
Eidolon. Yes, that will hit.
That hits. Cool. We'll roll the other one to just see if this hits too. So, 13 misses.
Yes.
Cool. So, I'll staticize how I want this to look in just a second. Yep. So, that's 10 points of damage to start with. It's more just the cleave down. I like to imagine Eidolon tries to go for a stab, but Gaerdrah just takes that step away. But as he takes that step, hearing the boot click on the ground, Eidolon snaps his fingers, causing tendrils to appear, as in kind of like what happened to Roderick all that time ago, where the tendrils already have moved in the time that Eidolon was talking. They're already poised around the back of Gaerdrah and try to stab in. Can you give me a dex save? As I'm going to proc all parts of my astral self.
I'm going to guess that's a no on a 14.
On what? That's a fail. Oh, that
He's
is...
not a very dexterous man. Eidolon was the dexterous
I know.
one.
That's what I'm counting on. That's 12 points of force damage to start us off.
So a nice chunk of damage.
As Eidolon takes a steady breath, takes his foot back that was positioned ahead of him into a more, not defensive stance, but just ready stance. Almost closes his eyes ever so slightly and just readies himself. He has no more words.
As it is my go.
All of the parts of my astral self are up, by the way. I used 2 key points for that.
You assume I can remember what all of them do.
A lot.
Because I know I give you extras and I can't remember what they do.
The basics you'll need to know is I can see through invisibility.
Yes.
I can see through any type of darkness.
Yes.
That's just astral self stuff, though. I'm immune to acid, poison, and necrotic, and I heal half of that damage. In addition, if he deals acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, or thunder, I can lower that.
1, 2, 3. Oh no! 3. I did not drop a dice.
No, you totally didn't. I
It
believe you, all
did
the way.
not. Why would you even suggest such a thing? As that is a 27, a 23, a 17, and a 16.
Cool, I'm not going to use a shield because I don't need to. The 17-16 miss.
Cool.
But the other 2 I couldn't even shield to make them miss, so I won't bother. But they both hit.
Cool. One of these will heal you, so I'll do the damage that will hit you, and then I'll do the damage that will heal you.
Thank you. This is going to be a long combat.
Yeah. Well, it's my fucking fault for giving you stupid shit that gives you stupid health back.
You chose to. You didn't need to.
I regret my decision. I never said I was smart. I said I regret my decisions. There's a difference.
Come on, hit me.
If my internet loads, because math.
Math is bad for you.
Math
And
is very
science
bad
is
for you.
proven.
Science has proven math is bad.
I can see that face, Matthew.
Yeah.
You see those pursed lips.
As the damage you will actually take is 28.
Ouchie, ouchie.
That is an ouch.
Okay, and now heal me, please.
And then I will heal you.
Gaerdrah doesn't know he heals me yet.
So the first round of healing
Mm-hmm.
is 7, because it's acid damage.
82.
And then the second round of healing is 11, as it's necrotic. No, also poison. I lied to you, I'm sorry.
93 hit points. That's not bad.
He
He dealt single digit damage to me there. He dealt me 9 points of damage.
as he kind of bats you away the mace, you're able to block a couple of them, but he, using his strength as he was always stronger than you, it seems that he's learned how to use that to his advantage as he almost knocks you back, striking with the mace and cutting down your guard, where he almost reaches out with his hand. Similar motion to what you've seen Hyde do, like when he turned Wolfric into the gaseous form. He almost melds his hand with that of your flesh, though you can almost feel it stutter or stop, kind of this blight now spreading across your chest and infecting the rest of your body, as he seems to attempt to drain your life force, drain your essence. As it doesn't almost seem to work, as you almost start to drain him. As he almost recoils, takes a step back, kind of just looks at his hand, almost flexes it for a moment, twirls the mace in the other and takes a tighter grip on it. It seems that parasite inside of you is getting rather strong. Need to correct that.
Eidolon has no more words, instead mimicking what Gaerdrah does, spins his sword and just gives a shrug. Letting each of the tendrils that are now behind himself also shrug.
Tendril shrugging. As Wolfric, your dragon is in front of you. It is staring you down.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's go.
Why heal when you can keel?
Your big creature up there. Best not be letting you get out of my sight. Can it give me a wisdom saving throw?
Maybe. It's not actually very good at these.
That's what we like to hear.
And I need to not open my mouth on a 21.
Oh,
Never mind. It's still gonna make my 2 attacks.
a lamentable piece. What were you trying to do to it?
A compelled duel.
Oh, you'll need to try that again.
That'd be so cool.
Okay, so that's the first attack. The first attack is 13 points of damage.
Oh, so close. That also hits. There is always a part of me that is really tempted that when you guys roll over 20 just to go, no, that doesn't hit.
Yes, but that's called cruelty.
That's 11.
And
That's 11 points.
Saddest number to see on a two-handed weapon wielding character is 3.
yeah, because it's so
Yeah.
close to being able to reroll. Hyde can't do anything because he failed his check, which means at the bottom, where'd my note go? I need my note. There's my note. I need the 4 of you to make me a con save.
Is that all of us?
At the end of this round of combat, I need the 4 of you to make me a con save.
Yeah, is that all of us, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Although
Just had to check.
technically, Wolfert could half some of this damage, and Eidolon could heal from this damage.
I wanna fail then, let me fail please. Damn it!
Ooh.
So,
Paul, do you want to trade please?
Wolfert
Maybe.
and Ranagash, you fail, and you actually fail on both of the...
Did you say Wolfric and Ranagash fail?
No. Marcusar. Sorry, it's because I saw Ewan's name first.
Damn it, so the 2 of us that could have actually dealt with this nicely are the
Yeah.
ones who aren't taking anything from it.
Actually, scratch that. Ran, you'll only take half of some of this damage because you're currently protected from poison.
Mm-hmm.
Big brain.
As you both take 5 force damage, but
Mhm.
Ranagash, you'll only take 3 poison damage. Marcusar, you'll take 7 poison damage.
So it's 8.
Alright.
So 8 damage
Never mind,
total,
I thought-
Ran, and then what? 12 damage total, Marcusar.
12 total.
As the pressure of this mist, as the toxicity of this mist seems to be increasing. Perhaps it's the presence of the dragon, or perhaps it's the presence of something else, but it seems to be becoming heavier, becoming thicker, becoming more weightier as it starts to weigh you down, where you can almost feel it starting to force you to hunch as it just feels heavy and unnatural. As at the top of initiative order, I have Ranagash.
That's such a
Okay.
strange sentence.
It's weird, it
Never
feels
happened
wrong.
before.
It kind of feels dirty a little bit, you know?
That's
Criminal.
Okay, you didn't have to do me dirty like that. Okay, so magical darkness is a
Ow.
problem.
Yes. You
So,
can see
for-
you can see Marcusar in front of you. That's about it.
Okay, so first order of business is getting the hell out of dodge. Do I need to make any sort of check to navigate? Just because I can't see, or are we just
No.
kind of waving that? Okay, that's good.
This, if you were in a more condensed area, then yes, but considering you're pretty much in an open field, the worst you could do is trip over a pebble.
Okay, that's fine then. I'm gonna need to dash, which is not ideal. So let's go. Oh, 1, 2, 3 with movement, and then dash 2, and then may as well just go the extra 3. Is anything visible that needs to die?
I know you won't like me saying this because. Can Ran give me a perception check?
Oh ho ho.
Dangerous words.
Let me just. That's not bad.
You can actually see things.
Oh,
Um,
Who'd have thought?
Rand decided to actually see things today. He woke up and put on his prescription.
Put on my reading glasses this morning.
As with your perception check, Rand, strangely enough, you can actually see stuff. Surprising to even me. As for the dragon itself, whilst you can't see the beast, you can see parts of it. You are able to get a sense of where it is if you would want to blindly try and attack it with magic. Obviously, your problem is you know Hyde and Marcusar and Wolfric are pretty close to it, but you know that it's big enough that if you were to aim slightly further into the mist, you might be able to hit it. As you can see almost parts of it, its wing, its tail, almost kind of this, I guess possibly whenever it's another amalgamate limbs, kind of almost flailing through the darkness as it tries to reach for your party members. However, with your perception check, you're also able to see further into the battlefield, up towards this pedestal where the archway is, where you can now see Eidolon fighting another figure.
Okay. I think I think I can make a solid guess as to who this figure is.
Yeah, it's his mom.
It's Lucian. He's back.
Yes,
Lucian's final boss.
We made the buff old man jokes when he was in the pool.
He's gone all. Is it Master Roshi?
Yes.
Yes. I'm proud of myself for knowing that.
You animate, Matthew.
I did. It's the only buff old man I know.
Do you not know
Only two.
Boomy?
Oh
That's
yeah.
not anime.
Yeah, I know, but he just said buff old man. Technically,
It's the
Boomy's
first
a
old
buff
man
old
that came.
man.
Yeah, I can give that.
The buffest.
So, I'm reading this spell, and it's interesting because it does not say a creature you can see.
Which spell
Which
is it?
spell's this?
Crown of Stars.
Oh.
The exact wording is you can use a bonus action to send one of the motes streaking towards one creature or object within 120 feet of you. No mention of sight.
So as
Fuck him
long
up,
as you,
Matthew.
As long as you know they're there.
He does.
That's powerful. Okay, so there we go. That's
To be fair,
Wait,
it, was
action.
like, it was like me when I discovered that Dominate Monster doesn't disclude injury to creature.
Also, Matthew, quick question.
Yes.
Is it because it's a ranged attack, which would mean you have disadvantage because you can't see the creature?
You can,
Is that the balancing?
It is a ranged spell attack, yes.
So maybe.
So I think that would be the balance.
It would.
But
But
even
it's just
then, that's
it's just
still kinda
weird.
cool.
It
Caught
is,
me off.
definitely.
That's only maybe like at worst that's a -5 to hit.
That's not bad.
Mhm.
Especially with the damage it does, and the fact it's a bonus action.
Well, it's a bonus action to throw. It's an action to start up. But yeah. So action, start it up, and then bonus action. I will send one just to test the waters here. Let's send one towards the dragon. I will take note of what I'm doing in a second. /R 2d20 20 KL1 plus 10. It's a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Excellent. So this
Oh!
33 radiant damage.
Spicy.
Fuck him up,
That
Matthew.
do be
Oh, let's
spicy.
go. Fuck him up, Kenneth. Fuck him up.
It's Ranagash's business thing when people can't pronounce Ranagash.
It's Kenneth.
Kenneth.
It's his human name.
Yeah, it's like when immigrants take
Superman.
on a different name.
Yeah, because
He's just Kenneth.
it's so much easier than trying to be like, oh, this is how you pronounce my name.
Anyways.
I know too many people like that, where they're just like, I gave up trying to tell people how to pronounce my name, so I just told them this was my name instead. It's like, oh.
Like listening to anyone attempt to pronounce the name Fyodor Dostoevsky.
I'm not even going to
I
attempt
don't
that.
know the context.
He's an author.
Okay, thank you.
That is...
Action, bonus action. Wait, shit, I'd used 2 actions, didn't I?
You dashed.
No.
I
Oh,
dashed.
he did dash.
I'm very glad I caught myself. See, this is why I write things down.
Well, if
So that's a
not,
dash.
Andrew
We have
would
someone
call you,
watching-
so-
Yeah, we have someone
Mhm.
watching through the whole series now. Someone would have gotten to you in maybe a week.
I got myself though, so that's what matters. So let's correct here. Let's
Are you
undo
allowing that,
that 32 damage.
is now not on a satisfying amount of health. Thank you, Matthew.
It's the rules. Okay.
We got to
These are
abide by
rules
them
are
sometimes.
rules.
These are the confines in which we bind ourselves.
Occasionally.
So let's. Right, can I do anything with a bonus action that does not require spending a thing?
You could use your ring to proc the Crown of Stars anyway, so you have it ready next round.
Yeah, I'm thinking the two options I have are either I undo the dash, Misty Step, Crown is the action, or I keep the dash and then ring the Crown as a bonus action. So it's a
I'd say-
spell slot versus ring charges, basically.
I'd say do the step because it's less of a resource, and then you can,
Yeah.
like, on the next turn start just...
Mm.
Actually, no, maybe use the slot because now you'll have your bonus action for Crown for the rest of the time.
Mhm.
So-
So,
Up to you.
action, dash, ring charges, bonus action, Crown of Stars. So that's 2 charges. Ring of modification. Yes, 2 charges.
As you will have your stars up, but cannot use them as of
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
But they're up, and that's kind of the main point.
Yes. So
You're
dash.
also out of dodge.
I am. And I will save where I typed Crown of Stars Yeet for future usage.
As Marcusar, you have had loads of
Right.
time. What are you doing?
Question: does this beast in front of us? Hold on, let me read the specific line. Is it undead or a construct?
It's undead.
Never mind.
He had an idea.
I had an idea.
You will have learned this information previously through Wolfic trying to do stuff to it, and obviously learning that he's more effective because it's undead.
If only this thing wasn't undead, I could do my super duper move.
Mark's
say
been planning a
character.
special move.
I say in character.
I can activate my super move.
Yes. I'll levitate it slightly.
He glows
Unlevitate
10
with-
feet.
Don't. It hurts
Sorry, I won't
inside.
trigger M.
It hurts. Okay.
Okay. Then I cha 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 cha. God damn it! I need to plan backups.
Marksar is a plan A, and that's the only letter in the alphabet for him.
Mhm.
A for all the plan I have. Okay, I'm gonna get right up to well, as close to this dragon I need to, maybe within 10 feet, and cast Arms of Adar at a higher level, so it does a bit more damage. But I shall change the damage type to fire, burning one of the flowers of my circlet.
Gasp.
Good
Um,
shout.
Is Arms of Adar a save or is it an attack roll?
It is a strength saving throw.
That is a 19.
That matches it.
That is a
It
pass.
passes.
Fuck! And I burn the slot as well, don't
Mhm. Is it half damage or does nothing happen?
I? Oh no, it's half damage. Great.
There's
So
no other
that's-
effect.
yeah.
That's fine.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to take 5d6 halved. 11 fire damage.
Better than none.
Yes.
It is now once again on a satisfying amount of health. Just a different number.
Hopefully that means there's a 69 in there somewhere.
No, it's way past 69. Wolfric got it to 68, which is disappointing.
Wolfric. Can you actively choose to give it 1 less damage?
No, because now
No,
it
it
wouldn't put it
can-
on
no, it
69.
No, it can go fuck itself.
Okay. I can only really heal with my bonus action, but we're all still looking pretty good right now, so I might save those.
Also, I think I'm completely out of range for any of the healing you could give. Yes.
Yeah. So, I end my
as
turn.
It is now the Northal's go. It is now the Dragon's go, and
I should ask it its name.
yeah, none of you really done that. You've kind of been really impolite.
It was so polite to us.
Out of politeness.
While I'm right up next to it, I ask it its name.
Um,
Do that in character next turn, Paul.
Yeah. Will do.
Marcusar, Wolfric, can you give me Constitution saving throws, please? No, I lied to you. It's a Wisdom saving throw.
Dude, I'm better at those.
That's better, Hyde.
A natural 20.
He actually passes. Marcusar, you pass. Wolfric, you pass.
Let's go!
As the darkness doesn't seem to really be affecting you at all. As it also seems to be dispersing. Or at least starting
no.
to. As... It will probably do that because it doesn't really like that Marcusar's getting involved. So, Marcusar,
Yes.
does a 27 hit you?
Yes. It does.
I need some dice because I'm not going to try and math this in my head. 6. That's the last 3 dice. So, Marcusar, you take 32 damage.
Oof.
8 of which is poison damage, and I need you to reduce your maximum health by that amount.
I should have done the same for the poison damage I took earlier as well, right?
Nope. That's
Okay.
that's a different effect. This is actually the dragon.
Okay, so how much was that, sorry?
So 32 total, 8 of which you need to reduce from your maximum health.
Okay, that is... Would anyone care to hazard a guess at what health I'm on right now?
Is that a funny number?
It is 69.
Oh, it was
Nice.
a funny number.
At least one of us is not
Nice.
failure tonight.
You know what? After I take this hit, I just... nice.
He knows it in his soul.
Oh no, this doesn't make it any better because now I have to describe it, and now it just sounds weird because you've done that.
Explain it. Explain it.
Don't smile at the camera like that, Paul. No,
Oh, he's zooming in. He knows what
Explain
to
it,
do.
Em.
There was a menace in that I can't explain.
As technically, fuck my life, man.
Say it. Just say it. Just get it over with.
Right.
From the amalgamate from the body, from kind of the cracks, the breaks from every orifice it can, it almost attacks you with its tentacles.
I mean, you made this beast.
Yeah.
You made this bed, now lie in it.
You made this tentacle bed.
Actually, Craig did. This is Craig's
No,
fault.
I didn't.
You made tentacles.
I made the Northul. I did not make this one.
You made the tentacles. And
No, I was
yes,
attacked by his tentacles.
You're attacked by its tentacles.
Mhm.
As they take you down to 69 health.
Nice.
As he looks to the camera again. I like to imagine
Very
Marcusar looks to the camera.
As I don't or can't do anything else on my turn for this, as it goes to Idlum. Is when it attacks with its
Oh, it's my
tendrils,
go.
it can only attack once.
It's my go?
Yes.
Cool. So I know his roll for this is going to be high, but
You say that.
I want to do it anyway. It's a strength roll,
Uh,
but I know I'll be able to match it somewhat with my wisdom.
okay.
As essentially taking the tendrils that are above me, having been able to bat myself slightly away from his assault, I'll take them all essentially over to one side and attempt to wrap them around his leg and pull him to the ground, as I'm going to replace one of the attacks in my attack action to attempt to knock him prone,
Okay.
which is an athletics or an acrobatics, his choice.
He
and
technically
I get
has
to
both, but I know which
make
one he's
a-
choosing.
Opposed roll at a 17, that's not great. It's a shame.
No, that's. I was about to say that's kind of close, but it's not actually. I was looking at the wrong number because it's 14, 7, 21.
21.
21.
I kind of want to try that again.
Do it, King.
Paul says, do it, King. I've got the tendrils there. He was able to keep his ground. I'll move them up slightly and attempt to yank at his knee instead. So, same roll. I just want to. I want to see if I can get this to work.
All this time.
Good to not have that effect on you, Craig.
That's
That's
31.
more like it.
31. See, Paul, this is why you don't encourage me. Fuck you. I blame this on you for once.
This is why you
How
should
is this
listen to your
his
model,
fault?
Craig.
He was just being nice.
He was being
Ye-
nice, but I still blame him.
That's mean.
No.
Don't be mean to Paul.
With the tendrils in the leg, I'm just going to make 2 attacks. Keep this simple.
Don't be mean to me.
Key point,
Only I'm allowed to be mean to him.
Yeah.
of course.
That's why did you say it like that?
26 and
Yeah,
19.
Both hit.
Both hit. Can he give me... No, give me a second. I'll roll damage first. As they're in his knees, so I'm essentially just attacking his knees like a brat.
You're chewing at his ankles.
A rather effective chewing of the ankles, in fact.
It is actually, yeah.
As with the tendrils inside of him. Give me a con save. Fuck it, why not? We're already in this deep, might as well try. I know we'll probably be really good at these, but no
28.
point not trying. Yeah, that's fine. We'll let him keep like that. We'll let him burn all of his good rolls now. Yeah, that's my whole turn though. We might try that again next turn, because I want to try get him prone for 3 advantaged attacks.
He's not.
Actually, if 19 hits, is there even a point?
A 14, a 26, and a 28.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, can't even shield those, so I'm not going to bother. 2 of those hit. But one of those misses, comfortably.
Now I need to work on stupid hating myself, because you'll heal some of this damage. So this is the damage you'll take, which is 34.
4, cool.
And then you go... And then you heal 7.
Well, I'm on 66.
As not so much attacking you, though it almost feels like the physical manifestations of the tendrils, or your own tendrils, are almost taking the brunt of the force, taking the brunt of the damage, is he almost cuts them away from his legs, almost obliterating them as he does so, as you take the damage.
That's fine.
As Wolfric.
Yes. Oh boy. Right, I'm gonna whack this thing again. I'll whack the dragon. Let's get right up. Let's get right up and friendly, and play whack the dragon.
Good old-fashioned whack the dragon.
My favorite childhood game.
That doesn't whack the dragon.
Oh.
Oh.
I remember this game
Oh, no.
differently. Oh!
Whack the dragon.
That really
either.
doesn't whack the dragon. As perhaps getting up close and personal isn't the best, as it seems a lot more dexterous at this range, just kind of dancing
Yeah.
and darting out of the way. Or
You
perhaps
are
it's the failing dance.
disgusting to look at.
Aw, why are you being mean like that?
It killed my friends, the great lumbering twat.
What an exclamation.
To be fair, the dragon does actually just snicker at you, it's just me that feels bad for that insult.
If you didn't want me to be mean to it, it shouldn't have killed my friends.
It only did a little bit of murder.
That's a treat.
As a treat.
A little murder. You were in the way, it did a little murder.
It can. Well, I'm about to paint the floor with its insides, so it better be happy about murdering my friends for as long as it is.
Well, it'll be
think it is.
happier if it murders you in the process.
I'm gonna paint the floor with it.
See, this is where my problem comes in. Because a lot of my damage types aren't going to do anything to this thing. Which is the slight problem. I mean, I knew that when I built him, but also, you know. So that would be... .30, so 3 dash edge, and then he's left unable to do anything. Is very much in the fashion of Ranagash, but not so much is flashy, I guess. How he just runs out of the mist, runs out of the darkness, runs away. As I no longer have one of those spell slots, which is fine. I'll take note of that because I'll probably forget, knowing myself. First, second, third, fourth. As he now has that up for subsequent turns. As coming to the end of this round of combat, I need you all once again to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Come on, I want to fail.
I want the health.
Please,
That's a
please let
pass.
that fail. Damn it!
That's pass, Ran, that's a fail. As you take a singular point of force damage, Ranagash. As the crushing weight of this arena doesn't seem to be that crushing this term around. But it still kind of hurts. As top of initiative,
I am about to be. As soon as we can, I'm going to be devious and perhaps a little bit mischievous.
ooh,
What a sentence.
as Ranagash. The dragon's darkness seems to be dispelled. You can now see it very clearly, as it seems this effect only lasts a certain number of rounds. As what do you do, Ran?
Okay, I'm assuming the front of the dragon is like the left side.
Yeah, where Wolfric is.
Okay, so I will continue moving towards the rear. In a 1, 2, 3, 30 feet manner. Not dashing. Do I perhaps gain vision of the thing Eidolon is fighting? Can
Yes,
decide on a word there.
it's Gaerdrah.
That's not. Well, it's not good.
He looks injured. You can see that he's not in a hybrid form. There's no parts of the wolf to him. He is very much a man at the moment, though he's not fighting with the strength of a man. However, it does mean that there is marks of injury on him, as Eidolon does seem to have been getting some pretty good swings. But on the opposite side, it seems like Eidolon has also taken his fair share of hits from this mace. More so his actual blighted self than his actual self, as it almost seems to be, not unsurprising, Gaerdrah has more of affinity of destroying that. Ripping through his tendrils and tentacles and through the blight Eidolon is able to produce, leaving Eidolon as almost just a man.
Okay.
Well, a spooky man with a visage and weird black ichor wings.
Well.
Aesthetic.
So we just have two dudes going at it over that. Nope, bad phrasing.
I don't think it's like that, Matthew.
It's okay,
Just
Matthew,
two men,
they're 5 feet apart.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Social distancing. Anyways,
What, do we have to worry about COVID in an undead parasite land?
Yes.
it's more for the PR, okay?
You wrote in fucking this universe is COVID, except it's a weird plague that turns people into zombies.
Anyways,
Here's
Mint
Wonderwall.
Anywho.
or you can make bolognese out of it.
back onto the topic of
Murder.
murder, fiery murder. So, initial target was the dragon, but Ran hates Gaerdrah more than he hates this dragon. So
Get help.
yes,
Yeah.
he's gonna help. He's gonna burn this man to cinders. So, bonus action. Let me bring back in where I wrote Crown of Stars Yeet, and let's make an attack roll against Gaerdrah.
Distract him, let me stab him in the fucking back.
20
He did to me.
plus 10 is 10. It's not. That's the wrong tab. That's not gonna
That doesn't yeet. Well, it yeets, but it doesn't hit.
miss. Okay. Let me mark off a. What's it called? The moat? Whatever.
Yes, it's a moat.
Luckily, I'm going to produce 4 more yeets, as I'm going to cast a. Will I need those slots? Actually, yeah, let's just. Okay. This is with a standard 2nd level Scorching Ray.
Ooh.
So I have 3 more yeets.
Who are these yeets
And-
going towards?
The same target. 2, 3 yeets. That's 2. No, 1 yeet.
1 yeet, yeah.
1 yeet.
One
so he
almost
takes.
yeet.
Yeah, disappointing. That's also disappointing.
Matthew!
I
What,
mean,
man?
should we just come out and say that you're disappointing tonight, Matthew?
I mean, that's fair.
Matthew, you good? Something okay? Your roll's been pretty up.
Ran's just a little
I don't
shell
want to
shocked.
talk
You know?
about it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
expect to see Gaerdrah here today.
He's going through the motions. He knew it was a final
Yeah.
boss fight, but he didn't really feel that it was the final
Mhm.
boss fight. You know, he thought it was going
He's
to be like
just
a
having
two-parter.
performance. He's just having some performance issues. That one was deliberate. It's okay. You can laugh.
Permission to
You know,
laugh.
performance issues are normal, or aren't actually normal for a man of his age. He should be concerned.
Yeah, he's only what,
Sorry,
26? 27?
Yeah, 27.
After Matthew finishing that and saying that we're okay to laugh at that, I just have the image of Matthew just on a stage like, laugh, please.
Please laugh.
Why is man laughing? I specifically requested it.
Have fun, please.
Mm-hmm. Archimori.
There it is.
As can you do anything else, Matthew?
No, that is action, bonus action, move. That's me.
As Marcusar.
I'm gonna get up in this bitch's vicinity again and do another Arms of Adar. So could I get a
Strength?
strength save?
29.
Half the damage.
It's still damage.
And I'm changing the damage type to fire again. I like fire. Who knew?
Hit toasty.
Rockstar likes burning things to the ground.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed from the eco-terrorist?
It's just a vibe.
That's not as nice. 7 damage.
7 damage is 7 damage.
7 damage.
No.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-da.
As you have action, you still have movement, and you still have bonus action.
Who's looking pretty bad right now? Because I can give a little healing word.
Hello. I think I'm
You
too
are out of
far away.
You're
range.
too far. It's what, 60 feet?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I think
Is-
Bonjour.
you have Wolfric and Hyde. They're your 2 in range, I think.
You boys good?
Hyde's alright.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to say. As my Arms of Adar erupt from my body once again. It's like, this feels awfully rude, but what's your name?
Would she actually give you the time of day? Apparently not.
Rude.
I think her eyes are only on Wolfric.
I think all of our eyes are on Wolfric.
I can disagree
No,
with that inherently.
She doesn't give about it as that. Fine then, keep your secrets.
Who needs healed?
Who needs it?
I think out of the 2 that you can reach, Wolfric's definitely looking the worst.
Yeah, I'll give him a little healing word. At what level though? Fuck, I'll do it at that level. So that is a...
Ewan, are you proud of that?
Oh, that sucks!
Wow! That's a lot of ones!
You
God.
get 9 health back, Wolfric.
Ain't back into triple digits.
Well, I assumed you were way lower than that.
For Wolfric, that is
Vault.
pretty low.
Okay, fair.
Vault 101. You understand when you're beefy as fuck like Wolfric is.
Double digits are scary.
Yeah.
They're unfriendly.
End my turn. And give a scathing look to this dragon who refused to tell me their name.
It's gonna only make 2. Marcusar, does a nat 20 hit you?
Yeah, I
What
suppose.
was that noise?
It sounded like a kazoo. Like, where? Yes, and that natural 20 hits me.
And Wolfric, a 15 will miss you.
Why couldn't I have had the 15?
Because you were the yellow dice.
You're also the only one who's been rude to it so far, Marcusar.
I've only been rude in
As
response to rudeness.
it almost
You don't.
attempts,
You earn respect.
it attempts to swipe at you, Wolfric, almost turning around, moving its body, maneuvering itself around, as it positions itself to swipe away Marcusar, as you are now a fly on its side that it really wants to get rid of. As we have 1, 2, 13, 21, 42 damage.
Alright, I'm gonna. Next turn, I'm retreating.
Can you give me a dexterity save?
Hold on. What was that? 42 damage, you said?
Yes.
Okay, I'm low, boys. And the dexterity save.
Yes.
Cool. The rolls have not been.
As you are knocked back
Ran-
and knocked prone.
Ran
Cool.
stole all your rolls, Marcusar.
At least I'm out of range.
However, it isn't able to hit Wolfric. It kind of almost maneuvers itself around and it bats you away as Eidolon.
My turn?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not risking what I did last turn. Seeing that's not worked, I'll just rip the tendrils out the leg and I'm just going to go for 4 attacks.
Beat the fuck out of him.
That's my plan. I noticed that strategy might not work, but let's just see if violence will.
This is the last of my Hamon, Jojo.
Take it! So the nat 1 will miss, so I'll need to roll again to
Yeah.
make sure my sword doesn't break. My sword does not break, but let's continue. 15 and 27.
15 miss, 27 hit.
I'm going to roll that 15 into a 19,
That'll hit.
because I don't like him, and he's a bitch.
Ba, 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 ba.
2d10 plus 5d8 plus 15. So he
Buddy.
takes 51 points of damage. As Eidolon more rips the tendrils out, probably causing a momentary bit of pain, a momentary wince, where he just takes a very solid step forward, the dust almost clouding around his boot, and takes a slice into his side. Which I don't know how he looks after that. Probably not too happy.
Not too great, not too happy at that, as he almost kind of bevels over, like bends, almost clutching at the wound, just kind of for that second, as you do kind of see it start to, I guess, knit back together again. Although that
Fuck.
might just be a sense of the blight.
I'm gonna go for one more con save. I know he's probably gonna pass this, but I'm gonna try it one more time, because if I can stun him for a whole turn, that would be huge.
Big if true.
Big if true. What do you roll? Nat 1!
Nice.
Also taking the sword with that dust, stabbing in. As Eidolon rips it out backwards, noticing the wounds stitching up, Eidolon takes his hand, almost backhands Gaerdrah across the face, as he'd be wincing from it, leaving almost like a mark on it that trails down him to where the wound is and stabs in. He can't move. He can't do anything. That is... I almost want to put my feet up, but I'm not gonna. Wolfric is ready. Cool. No, that's my turn though. It's a stab in, rip it out, then backhand.
I am stunned. To which case, Wolfric.
Alright, I'm gonna shift around the dragon, still remaining like in combat with it, so that I can get within approximately 30 feet.
Remember, the squares
Oh.
are 10 feet, not 5 feet.
Okay, I've moved 1 square, 2 square,
Currently 60 feet where you are.
3 square.
Now 50 feet.
That's 50. That's still a bit far. The spell I was gonna cast had a 30 feet range, but I can't do that.
Stay on the dragon for now, and then you can see if you can get up to him next time.
I was gonna say, because if you're stunned, you automatically fail strength and dex saves, right? Or is it
Yes.
just strength saves?
I'll check for you. Give me,
Both.
because I'll need it for M's turn.
It's
Stunned
both, I have
is
it open.
incapacitated, can't move, speak. The creature automatically fails strength and dex save, and all attack rolls have advantage. Incapacitation just means it can't do anything ever.
Alright, I'm just gonna attack the dragon twice then. First, 21.
Hit.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Wolfric doesn't need to hit.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to hit
Right.
Gaerdrah. He's hit the dragon.
So the first hit is gonna be. The first hit is just gonna be. Right, that I reroll 1s and 2s. That's just 18 points of damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second hit, I'm gonna roll the melee attack first.
I feel it. I feel it.
So that's a. I would like to submit a 3rd level divine smite.
This is my homework.
So that is 4, and it's undead, right? So that's 5d8.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Oh.
6. So that's 6d8.
Radiant. Reroll
That's
ones.
46 points of radiant damage.
You can
and
reroll the
I
ones.
reroll the 2 ones. That's so that's an additional. There's an additional
3 points.
3.
3 points. That's 26.
So
52 points of radiant.
Hopefully not going to be looking good after that.
Yeah.
He'll probably
So-
still be alive, but...
26.
How does it look, Ewan? Sorry.
So the first thing I imagine is Wolfric runs along its back with his axe like the first hit, so it's only like cursory wounds, and then he like swings the axe up, like shunts it in his hand. The axe blade drops down and creates like essentially a great sword of pure or divine energy, and he just golf swings.
It is a return of golf.
It's been so long since Wolfric invented golf! All the callbacks this episode.
As the dragon's definitely not looking good. It's still looking pretty put together, but it's more looking pissed off than anything else.
And with my bonus action, I would like it to make a wisdom saving throw.
Pell.
11.
That's a fail. It's compelled. It can't attack anyone else but me.
God, that
Oh,
turn just went
Wolfric.
well.
And Wolfric kind of like leans on the axe and just goes, "It's you and me, you ugly fucker, and I can do this all day."
Do something.
As Wolfric, it is now hide, which I'm gonna move the boy. Is he'll kind of almost dash around the dragon, very similar to Ranagash, though it seems he's intentionally wanting to get closer to the archway, or at least closer to
Yeah.
that area. His movements seem very intent on trying to move it there. As I actually need to check what save this is, because I can't remember.
Also, just to clarify something for you, just for future reference for compelled duel for the minute it lasts, not only does it have disadvantage to attack anything but me, but if it has to make a wisdom save if it attempts to move more than 30 feet away from me.
It
These things aren't running anymore.
is very attached to you. As I also need
And
to
also, if it does attempt to move, I also have Sentinel.
I actually forget you have Sentinel occasionally.
It's because I'm evil and nefarious, and this was quite mischievous.
We perform a little tomfoolery.
we indulge in a little bit of rapscallionry.
That's a good word. I'm remembering that word.
As I think that's a fail. It is a fail. This is a lot of damage.
We enjoy a mild amount of silliness.
I mean, this is pretty silly.
You boys are always silly. It's why I love you so much.
Yeah,
We're appreciated.
Hell yeah.
let's go.
As that's a relatively large owie. As I actually genuinely need a calculator for this because this math is too much for my brain to deal with. 6 plus 40. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do equals first. Because if I don't, it will do bod mass.
Fuck Bodmass.
Brackets of divine multiply add subtract. I still remember that.
Yes, we all do. Those stupid Facebook posts where it's like, oh, no one can solve this, and it's literally just Bodmass.
It's
That's
literally
it.
just use bod mass, and the amount of people who were never taught bod mass is fucking terrifying.
Every time I think Bodmass, I'm reminded of a group of hooligans that operated in my suburb in Aberdeen called Bridge of Dawn, or BOD, and they were the BOD Massive.
Wow, they really like doing things in an order, don't they?
Yeah. We're gonna batter the ones on the outside first, and then we'll get the ones on the inside.
Well, we need to batter those people who are inside first, because, like, you know,
Yeah. Then we have to divide yous.
it happens.
As for yourself, Eidolon, standing with Gaerdrah kind of in this mist, in this, I guess, epicenter. A lot of the, I guess, mist, the kind of smoke from the archway starts to almost disappear, almost like a gust is blowing out of the way. Even some of the mist that is appearing on the battlefield starts to get pulled and drawn away all to a centre, where as it does so, it starts to spark. Almost looking like it sparks with electricity, but more like just pure energy. As the colour of it changes from that kind of purpley hue to more of a black, and then this stream of force going through it almost turns green. As it seems to coalesce on Hyde, who, using quite a lot of this force, quite a lot of this energy, seems to almost expel it towards the dragon. Where
Something medicine.
it is kind of a shame, because this would have been really cool if it's killed it, but it doesn't. I also just did math for no reason, because I was stupid and didn't read the damage type. Which puts it on that. Oh, that's really satisfying. Sorry, satisfying numbers. I get them occasionally.
Who needs? Sorry, Ian.
I'm just thinking to this dragon, your life ends in approximately 30 seconds. Are you ready? Are you ready for the death you've earned, little man?
Who needs 2 BBEGs when you have party synergy?
As this almost, I guess, version of Hyde's blight seems to charge through the creature, almost contorting and disintegrating some of its body parts, as it kind of almost stumbles forward, still lurching, still lumbering as it stares down Wolfric. As at the end of round, I need you all again to once again roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Once again asking.
For a Constitution saving throw.
Damn it!
Craig just wants health back, guys. Hey Matthew, you passed.
Ah,
Paul, you failed.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. So frustrating. I had the 3D dice on and it wobbled on 16 and then turned to 3.
How many times has it done that for you?
It does it a lot. It looks cool, but I'd highly advise not having the 3D dice on roll 20 because it just like you know how close you were.
I might turn it on because it does sound fun.
It's like it makes a rolling click clack noise when you play.
Oh!
I love the click clack. As Paul, you take 11 points of damage.
All right,
You might want to heal yourself next turn, Paul.
maybe yeah.
Again, this
Just a thought.
pressure is... It's starting to choke you. As Ranagash.
Just go check something. Oh, excellent. Okay. So, Gaerdrah is stunned,
Yes.
Very.
and I'm about to take advantage of that because everything I do either has advantage or just succeeds. Yeah. So first things first, we're gonna do another Crown of Stars yeet. 2d20 KH1 plus 10. That's disappointing.
I think that misses.
Yeah, that does miss.
Mhm.
I mean,
God,
you do have those numbers above your head, Matthew.
I do have those numbers.
He's already
but
rolled.
I mean, I was
two of
wondering-
them are reserved for two of my companions, and the other two I'm waiting to use because, like, I feel like a Divine Smite can do more, or won't do more, but like, is good. So that's my bonus action. I mean, yeah, it's generally good, you know. It's, anyways, tangents. Actually,
have
wait. I need to double check a range before I do this. So I need to be. Okay.
Is it-
I need to take exactly one step forward, and then I can target Gaerdrah with an immolation. And because it's a dex save, he automatically fails because he's stunned.
Ranagash
on
takes
fire
one
now.
large step to immolate Gaerdrah.
I diagnose you with being on fire. He takes 25 fire damage and is now on fire.
Ouch. Toasty.
As I'm
How actually is
up.
he looking on the floor in front? Well, not on the floor. He's just stunned in place in front of me.
He's actually looking okay, all things considered. Apart from being on fire, that's kind of like his only big owie at the moment.
I'm gonna try to change that.
So that's action, bonus action. Do I need to move further? Shall I move further?
You're pretty good where you are, honestly.
Yeah, I don't need
How
to.
far
put
is
myself-
Immolation's range? Jesus.
100,
It's 90.
90 feet. Oh, I thought it was 100.
So exactly the range. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird
So yeah,
range.
that's action bonus. It is.
Everything either
Awkward.
deals with 30, 60, 90, or 120.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't, at least off the top of my head, can't think of a lot of spells with 90 feet.
Immolation.
Most of them go to 120.
Hmm. Both Crown of Stars and Scorching Ray are 120. Hence why I could sit so far back. And I double checked to make sure they're in range because I briefly thought about that. And I don't want to undo more spells, but that is my turn.
As Marcusar.
I am not looking good, guys. I'll be real with you.
Back
You
up and
are-
heal yourself,
You are
honestly.
also the healer, so
Yeah, I should probably.
Probably maybe get closer to Ran, like on that right-hand side.
Yeah, I think I shall use my. Oh, cancel it. I'll use 30 feet of my movement, which is. How do you measure it?
15 feet.
3 squares.
1, 2, 3. Not very impressive, is it?
Healing yourself is a lot more important, though.
No, but it's just like in the scale of this big black thing. It's just like I feel like I haven't moved at all.
You've got to the tip of its tail.
You've sidled
but-
along it.
But I shall cure myself for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, cure wounds at 4d8 plus 4 plus 1d4. That's a bit better. 28.
That's good heals.
Yeah. 28 plus 16. 44. There we go. And unless anyone else needs a little healing word, I'm gonna end my turn.
I'm not in range, but I
Yeah.
do need some healing.
I think the only one in range is Ran, and I think Ran's looking okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to double digits, but I'm permanently at double
I
digits,
was
so
gonna
it's not a
say-
big deal.
You don't have health yet.
No, I don't.
Oh, hold on for
I've been waiting for like 3 rounds to make that joke.
Well, you got to make it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. Is that Paul's turn, or can Paul do something else?
That's my turn. I'm done.
As there's only one person I can attack this round. Isn't that right, Wolfric?
Yes.
As the dragon does not like you.
I don't think any of us are surprised by that fact.
No. But like it extra doesn't like him because it's compelled to not like him on top of already not liking him. As one of those will miss on a 15, but my other rolls are a non-nat 20 and a 24.
Both of those hit.
So it misses you with its bite, but it hits you with its claws, which are d6s, not d10s. As that is 5, 10, 26, 33 damage.
33 damage, okay.
As it is now almost toying with you like a cat, batting
Alright,
you
I
between
have
its
to make-
claws.
It's what was it? It's how it
10 or half the damage, which is if it's higher for concentration, yes?
yeah. So half the damage would be
16.
16. So it passes.
Mm-hmm.
As you are still able to concentrate, you're still able to keep it focused on you as Eidolon.
Cool. So, Eidolon is now standing before a very stunned and now on fire Gaerdrah.
Yeah, it's kind of humorous as he's on fire but can't really react to being on fire.
So Eidolon sort of loses the very rigid stance for a second, stands up quite straight, flexes both of his arms, spins the blade around, walks forwards, and lets all the tendrils on his left-hand side flare up and envelop his entire body. As I'm just going to walk through Gaerdrah as the aesthetics for my attacks.
Yeah.
Essentially, as each of them hit, though, flaring up the flames with the amount of almost force that's being generated to flare up the flames that are on him from Ranagash. So, lots of advantage attacks.
Also very anime.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. So that's a 26, 30,
What?
sorry, that's wrong. That's a
A 29.
25, then I'm forgetting to do the advantage, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a 29,
29,
another 29, and then a 24.
Yes.
I assume we're all hits?
Yes.
Now, Matthew, may I
Nice.
ask, what's one of your lowest numbers?
I can give you a 2, or I can drop my 5 to a 1.
Do you want to drop that 5 to a 1? Then my last attack will force him to make a con save and will keep him stunned.
I'm okay with this.
Where are you putting the other 5?
I will take the 5 and put it into the 15, so I have 2 20s.
220.
Nice.
And then
That's
As
very
Gaerdrah, in total, takes 61 points of damage as I
Gee.
simply walk through him, appear out the other end, and I'll just slash the blade down to the side as some of the only blood that's left inside of him splatters against the floor. As with the last attack, many of those tendrils will have been left almost where the flames are being generated upon, almost spiraling their way into him, thanks to the flames creating a consistent wound. As he's given a what? A 2? A 1?
A 1.
A 1, which makes his save probably a fail.
it would.
Hope so.
Here comes legendary resistance.
As he's not letting you do that again.
Matthew, do you want to use the other one and I'll make him make another one?
I can only do them once per round.
That's a shame. I could just force him to make another one and see what happens.
You could attach another one onto another one of your attacks, yeah, but on the one that you have portented, he's not letting you do that again. It was almost giving you a bit of a headache, Ranagash. As it happens, he rebukes the portent.
I've got
Okay.
6 key points left.
What are you doing, Craig?
Does the 61 damage look like it hurt him?
Yeah, it's giving him a bit of an owie.
Bit of an owie. It's a good sign. No, we'll keep it like this for now. Thanks for the try, Matthew. But if he's got legendary resistances, that means one's burned.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We'll leave him with that 61 damage. That's a lot of 6s that I rolled on dice there.
It was. It's very satisfying. As going onto his turn, he almost steps through your tendrils, kind of ripping them apart, pulling them out of his body. You watch as his wounds obviously start to heal, they start to knit back together, but they almost seem to go at a more of an accelerated rate this time. Actually,
Oh, motherfucker, I
repairing
self-heal.
some of the damage that you have done to him, as he too kind of turns around, takes a step forward, looking across the battlefield, just in kind of that glimpse to see who is where and what is going on, seeing Marksar in his state, Wolfric in his, Ran and Hyde, where he kind of almost looks at you, kind of taking his glance away from the boy. It seems you've gotten help.
A rather helpful set of it. And, to my knowledge, a bit of an annoyance to you.
A thorn in my side, to be sure. Though I was expecting something a bit more than a boy.
What, an insect?
Something worth my time. As he is going to attack you.
Would be nice if it was a waste of his time, because that means that he has more time left, which I intend to draw problems with.
That is a 19, a 20, and a 22.
It's probably going to annoy him a lot, but essentially as he raises up his mace, I imagine. On the other side, now with his back to him, Eidlonmor just extends a hand out behind him, creates a wave of shimmering force, obviously using Faerith's name to use it, casting shield. All 3 of those miss. As they collide against the wave of force, as Eidolon turns around, raising his hand up, then just almost casting it aside, causing the shield to shatter, knocking him back. But no, 22 being the highest, my AC is currently 23.
As gritting through his teeth, he kind of looks at you. Even when she's dead, you're still using her as a tool, I see.
No, I think the best rebuttal I can give to that is 4 more attacks when it's my turn, so
As Wolfric.
we'll roll that
Wait,
around.
wait. Can Gaerdrah make me a dex save because he is on fire?
He is on fire.
No, he can't.
What's
That's
the
a
number?
6.
A 6. Excellent. He takes more fire.
He's awful at dex, we know this now. Well, I always knew
18
this,
more
but-
fire.
Ooh, spicy.
And he burns,
This
burns,
concentration-
burns.
This concentration. I should know that.
I'm gonna make another attack at the dragon. 15.
That will miss.
Yeah, those will miss.
Yeah, both of those will miss.
A
And it's
marked-
when it's so close.
a marked departure from
Well, you take some, you lose some. You gotta trade that nat 20 for something.
I'll give you another one.
Well, you've got a non-nat 20 and a nat 20 sitting above you, so you know, there's that. As hides go, he can't use that anymore because he's not got the spell for it, and that took a little bit of energy. He could be annoying. I need to double check.
Seems to excel at that.
Yeah, that's kind of his entire thing, is how annoying can he be. He does have some really powerful magic, but the problem is obviously I designed him with the Blight in mind, because that's what channels his magic, which means a lot of his magic, similar to Marcusar's problem at the beginning of this campaign, is damage types that they can heal. And whilst being of this land, he's also not stupid.
Oh, that was just a really underhanded dig.
Wasn't it It wasn't meant to be a dig at Paul! It was supposed to give reasoning to why he has magic and is not healing the creep. Sorry, Paul. No, I don't like the fact that you can zoom now, Paul. I don't like the fact that you can zoom now.
I love it.
It's great.
As I need to make.
It's just like whenever I want to react to the audience, I can just.
As
You can deliver them messages.
this will hit, and it passes anyway. So, annoyingly, this will actually heal it a little bit, because I was hoping the secondary effect would pop off, and it doesn't. Which is 5, which doesn't actually do too much. As Hyde again attempts to expel and expunge some of the magic from this creature, almost trying to replace it with some of his own. However, this effect is not so successful, as you watch as a few of the creature's wounds start to heal, unable to shake or be influenced by him. As getting to the end of combat, I once again ask you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Please, I want to fail.
You don't get to fail, Craig. At this point, just ask Matthew for the 2. Jeez, if you want to fail that bad.
Yeah, but it's not good enough damage to actually heal off of.
So Ewan.
That was quite a dance move, Paul.
Ewan, you take 3 points of force damage. Is the weight and
I had some
pressure
bad luck with my con saves.
of the mist is starting to fall onto you.
I take the pressure off from me. Give it to Wolfric.
Alright, let's go.
As Ranagash. Come on, we're nearly
Okay.
there, boys. Combat's going.
It's a good sound.
I mean,
Okay.
you're like halfway there.
So, first things first, Crown of Stars yeet at Gaerdrah. It's a straight roll this time. There we go.
That'll hit.
It's. I need to double check. Yes, it's still 4d12. It hasn't changed since the last time I looked. So 29 radiant damage. And then he's still on fire, so I don't need to re-fire him. He's still on fire.
You could drop a
Setting him
fireball on him.
I could, but can I angle it in such a way that it does not hit you? Wait, is Fireball 120 as well? I should probably check that.
It is.
Fearball. It's 150, that's weird.
Matthew, smack a fireball on him.
I will, let me
If it needs to hit me, let it hit me too, because I've got evasion.
It's like a 20-foot radius, so I could smack it like there. If I could switch to the right thing on 20, I could smack it there, and it doesn't hit Hyde, and it only hits him.
He's doing a funny wizard spell.
I'm casting Funny Wizard spell. Can I get a dex save, please?
We know he can't do these.
10.
That do be a fail. So he's more fire.
All the fire.
Exactly the same. Nice.
Nice.
So
I imagine Gaerdrah showing up
that.
to like do that. He's like, "This is my ultimate machinations." Douche, 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 douche.
fire.
He's just like a fucking speed bag, just hit after hit. He's like, I wish I could do something right there.
I mean, I stunned him for a whole last turn, so I really don't think he's very happy right now.
No.
You know what, let's
And
just
Wolfric's
wait.
just like, "Wait till I get over there."
9.
When
That's actually
So you're
something
lucky this
closer.
battlefield's so big.
Could take exactly one step. Again,
I need to snap.
and that is me.
1 step. You were late by 1 step.
As Marcusar, you're now pretty far away from a lot of the action.
Yeah. I'm going to move about there. Wait, no, I need to. So I've moved a bit closer to get around this fucking dragon and closer to the party. And I'm going to produce flames from my hands, but I'm going to hurl them at this dragon, which is an attack roll.
It is a spell attack roll, which you're actually pretty
Yes.
good at these, all things considered. That's a hit.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Paul
I
gets
was waiting for you to be
excited.
like,
Marcusar did something.
okay, takes 3d8 damage.
It's not
12.
bad.
What did you cast on him? Sorry.
Produce flame.
Hell yeah.
Eating the produce flame. That's the wrong number.
Yes. Just like rubbing my hands together, kind of like building up a spark, and then just kind of like slinging it.
As movement action, you still have a bonus action. Ow.
I might. How's everyone looking healing wise? Am I still the worst off?
Yeah, at the moment, given
Think
who's
so.
in your radius, I think you're still the worst off.
Mm-hmm.
Hyde has taken a bit of
Yeah.
damage,
Yeah.
but not much.
I won't heal this round. And I'll end my turn there.
As it is the dragon's go, and it still doesn't like Wolfric.
Some things never change.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It makes my
War.
turns really easy though. Because it means it's not focusing on anyone else, because it doesn't like him that much. As a 19 won't hit you, Wolfric, because your AC is now 20. But a 25 and a 27 will, yes.
Yes.
As that is one. Nope, that's the wrong dice. Where's my other? It's probably on the floor. I mean, no, it's not on.
I'll have to find it when I come through.
Why would my dice be on the floor?
We can stop my fucking toe on it.
You will also half some of this damage. So that gets halved, and this does not. As that is... math. 14... 21... 33... So you take 41 points of damage. And then you also take 4 points of acid damage. Already halved.
Alright.
As this thing almost manages to grab you with one of its claws, biting down, almost biting into your shoulder and starting to pierce some of that dragon plate on your arm. As it has relatively powerful jaws. As Eidolon.
Okay, back to regular turns. I got my good luck last time.
Just keep mollywopping this fucker. Genuinely just keep mollywopping him.
I'll take Wolfric's advice. 4 more attacks, GM. As being on the other side, having taken advantage of that slight stumble, after hearing his slight insult, Eidolon more just spits on the ground next to him, step forwards, and attempts to cut into the wounds he's already made.
Hack and slash. Oh,
25,
no. Yes, that hits.
25,
Slight
None
sense
that
deja
20.
vu.
12.
12 misses.
So his AC's 19, I could improve that too. Could improve it to 18, so no point. So we just have 3 nice hits. Roll 4d10 plus 3d8 plus 15. As I hope he enjoys 57 points of damage.
He does not.
As it's more taking that step forward, taking the left hand as it is, stabbing forward and letting it cut through his own left hand. As some of the tendrils are left on the blades, he stabs into Gaerdrah. And for the second slash, it's more cutting up the way, almost attempting to go for his jaw, but missing ever so slightly. Wanted to cut out the motherfucker's tongue, but sadly you can't have everything in life.
As I need to check the effects of something.
How in fact is he looking?
Not great.
Maybe One more turn.
Yes. Ranagash, can you give me a charisma save?
Oh,
Charisma save.
it's an
Okay,
unhappy.
that's-
He's actually shouldn't be too bad at these.
Never speak, please. Just
Ranagash, okay.
Mhm.
We'll take a moment here. You're one of the only people in this party that actually have a modifier to charisma.
actually, no.
Mhm.
Everybody in this party has a modifier to charisma except me.
Well, technically, if Wolfric was out without his axe, he only has +1, so.
Oh, Matthew doesn't get dominated. That wouldn't be fun.
No, that's a wisdom save.
Mhm.
You want to get banished?
Am I being sent to Brazil?
You are going POV. You are going through the archway.
You're going through the archway to Brazil.
As
That's where the blight comes from. The blight's just humanity.
Gaerdrah almost twirls his mace in his hand, kind of turns it round, still looking at Eidolon, though kind of almost takes that glance over his shoulder. Not much of a fair fight if people keep getting involved now, is it? As he kind of almost stretches his hand out towards the ground, similar to how the mist almost reacted to Hyde, it seems to react to him as well. As you watch as switching the hands, the mace, or the hand that was holding his mace, starts to turn into that more canine-esque claw as it reaches down into the mist and almost expels it towards Ranagash. Where the mist starts to swirl around you. Starts to encompass
Okay.
you, almost creating this little mini hurricane around you where you seem to be trapped in a small demi-plane.
Oh, he did banish him.
A realm of
I'm in
night and a
Brazil.
realm of darkness. Where the end of your turn you'll repeat the save and see if you pass. Until then you're incapacitated.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Well, Rand's being annoying. He's shooting fire at things.
I think that just wasted the whole of Gaerdrah's turn, though.
Was that his turn? He's still on fire.
It's not his turn, no. But
Oh, it's not his
he's
turn.
also
Oh.
still on fire.
He's still on fire.
As
Do
letting
you drop
us-
concentration because you're incapacitated? Or is that not how that works?
Let me check. I have the conditions up. Incapacitated. It just says can't take actions or reactions.
So technically, as long as you're
Inconsci-
still conscious.
Mhm.
I guess my only other question is, does it still work because you're on a different plane of existence now?
Let's have-
That's
let's
the
have a
question
look.
I don't know.
Let me get the exact wording for concentration.
Yes, you can still concentrate a spell even if the affected target or you move to another plane, unless it specifically says that you can't, so you're good.
Cool, so he's still on fire.
Excellent. He's still on fire.
As to hit you, Eidolon, I have a 15, a 26, and a 29.
15, easy miss. Other two, I can't even shield those, so give it to me!
As I will roll the damage you take, and then I'll roll the damage you heal.
Assuming he's really mad that he's healing me.
I mean, yes, but there's not much he can do because this is his only weapon, so he kind of has to just live with it.
Get a better weapon, fucker!
That is 57 points of damage.
I'm now on 9 hit points.
What?
Let's just kill him
9?
next turn, that's my plan. Yeah, single digit 9.
And then you heal 12 points of health.
21.
Nice.
So yeah, I either kill him next turn or I go down.
Was
Oh.
that his turn?
Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I forgot about one of his effects.
Can we just forget about it because you've already given me the
Yeah,
numbers
I'm
and just
gonna
move
forget,
on?
I'm gonna forget about it because I've given you the numbers.
Okay.
No. Like
I live in ignorance.
I'll make up for it by using one of his legendary actions, though.
I mean, I hate to be a buzzkill, but you can't use legendary actions at the end of your own turn.
That's true.
You can only use them at the end of another creature's turn.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't say I'd use one now, but I can use one later.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remember I've got those instead.
Is that his turn?
Yes, you can dex save.
Fire.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to make me a deck save to see if he's still on fire.
Matthew's just so excited to light a man on fire.
19.
That passes, unfortunately, so he's no longer on fire.
That's a shame.
My 15 minutes of fire are over.
15 minutes of fire.
As Wolfric.
Right, it's my turn. And I'm gonna try and cut this dragon. That'll miss.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
But that'll hit.
Oh, we're back.
That is 13 points of damage, and I'm gonna pump a second level Divine Smite, so that's 4d8.
Worth it. Very worth it.
I reroll that one.
Can you reroll the 2 as well?
I can reroll the 2. I'll reroll that too. Into a 5, so it's
10, 17,
12.
23.
23. Yeah.
That's big.
Really shows how far we've come from as a party, going from rolling like 1 dice and now we're here.
All of the dice.
Mm.
I mean, I don't like it because personally it means I have to roll more dice as enemies, which kind of sucks.
You could just not.
Well, just roll less dice. So make it easy for us.
No.
Give them less damage.
Maybe after this I'll make it easy for you, Paul, you know, when you're all back to baby characters.
Yeah.
Hey, he hits Gaerdrah. That's kind of funny.
Gaerdrah banishes someone because they're being annoying. Also, Gaerdrah gets hit by someone else.
Who's also being annoying. As Eidolon.
Hello.
You'll see, obviously, you're fighting Gaerdrah. He kind of takes this poison, is kind of beating you back and forth with this mace, and you watch as almost the mist of the blight. With your passive perception, you can see this almost green tinge to it as it does so. Does start to heal and knit his wounds back together. His body seems to regenerate itself, and as it does so, you can watch as he almost cracks his shoulder, cracks his back, and almost smirks at you, almost about to say something, as if he was probably about to gloat or mock you in some way, and kind of considering your current state. When all of a sudden he kind of doubles over, retching slightly, as it would appear perhaps the blight that was healing him wasn't his blight. As it would appear Hyde has done something to him.
Did he take damage, or is he just conditioned?
He is currently conditioned, but he did heal a little bit, as the primary effect of the spell does poison damage, as he was just hit with a ray of sickness and failed the con save.
That's kinda good. I have nothing extra against him, but he just is a tough time against me now.
Yes, essentially. As coming to the end of this round, I need you all once more to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Except Matthew,
Do I
I'm
still
presuming.
Except
Yeah, I
Matthew.
was gonna say,
Matthew,
do I
you're
s-
good.
Yeah. I cannot be affected. I'm safe in Brazil.
Ah, god.
He's safe in. I'm safe in Brazil.
Two fails.
I had a nat 20 last round. Can I carry that over?
No.
God damn it.
3 and 1. Wolfric is 8, 12. You take 6 damage. Marcusar, you take 13 points of damage.
How much damage do I take?
6. Because you're halving some of it. As top of the order, end of your turn ran, since you're banished into the little void. Can I get another charisma save?
Alright. Don't think it's. Is it worth?
Please return him to us.
I can't.
If it helps Matthew,
Is it-
roll on him.
if it helps Matthew, banishment is concentration, which means on my turn he'll have to make a lot of concentration checks.
Okay.
If you want to try
don't
burn
think
one
it's-
just to get back now.
The problem is if I burn one, I can't like give Wolfric a nat 20 or anything.
Oh, also you can't do anything else on your turn because it's the end.
It's a free action, isn't it? It's not an action. I've checked this multiple times.
Although
it
it's
doesn't
the
take.
it's the end of your turn
Mhm.
that I'm saying, which means that you'll not get to do anything else anyway.
Ah, yeah, that's fair.
When when you
So,
when you
just,
move back, it's considered the end of your turn.
Yeah, so I cannot do things. Is that the same?
I think it is.
No, it's worse.
It's
I got
worse.
on dice what my total result was. That's 3 more than last time.
It's still a fail, however.
I'm still in Brazil.
Don't worry, I'll be
Still in the Brazil.
breaking his concentration, hopefully.
Can you give me a perception check whilst in Brazil, however?
I'd certainly try.
Well, in Brazil.
Is a 14 sufficient?
So, whilst in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
you get an interesting perception of the battlefield, which you perhaps
Oh.
wouldn't have gotten had you not failed that check. As you can see the dragon quite clearly. However, it doesn't look quite the same as it once was, or at least how you know it. It is still massive, like this is still a gargantuan beast, but it doesn't look as contorted, it doesn't look as twisted, it doesn't look as decayed. You can see that in amongst this kind of almost discoloration that you're, I guess, used to seeing, some of its scales are almost polished white. Like at one point in time, this beast would have been quite a magnificent splendour. Probably an ancient white dragon that would have roamed these hills, perhaps even creating some of these snow-capped mountains. Similarly, well, strange in a way, looking around the battlefield you can also see Marcusar, but you see him as a dragonborn. He is not blight touched, he is also not an elf. He is a dragonborn, as Marcusar would be. Long ago that he was a dragonborn, mind you.
God.
Similarly, you can see Wolfric. Wolfric is just Wolfric.
Unchanged.
He's
Boring old
unchanged.
Wolfric.
From the beginning of this journey till now, he's only gotten stronger in himself. Strange notation, being so close to you, you can't see Hyde. Like, at all. He doesn't exist. Not in a true form, not in a resurrected form, he just isn't there. At all.
That's not.
Similarly, when you look over to Gaerdrah, you can almost see the two entities, the two bodies in tandem. You can see Gaerdrah as the half-elf, still in his blue-clad armour of that of the Watchman, and you can see the wolf alongside him, almost mimicking his body movements, mimicking his poses. This hulking mass that has no humanoid features to it at all. It is completely vulpine, canine, feline, this amalgamate standing behind him, almost sewn together. The two moving as one. However, Eidolon seems to have a very similar image. You're used to him having the blight, you're used to having him being connected to something, as I lose my words. But this is the first time, I guess, you have been able to see it. You have seen it as it's taken over him, these bursts of tendrils, or this kind of broken shards, or these almost blighted wings that seem to envelop him on occasion. You have seen parts of whatever this thing is. You have seen it in shadow, no more. You have heard its voice and nothing else. Now, you almost see it. Similar to Gaerdrah, standing, working in tandem, moving as he does, though controlling the tendrils and the movements of the blight within him. As standing beside him, quite a tall, slender, well, I say slender, it's not really that slender, it's actually pretty bulky. It just looks kind of, I guess, it's broad, but it looks kind of form-fitting. If that makes sense. Like, it's quite chunky, it's quite wide, but it's got that kind of more form-fitting shape to it. It is quite a large set of armour. The blight erupting from its back, almost like wings, spouting its tendrils and almost feeding them into Eidolon as he fights. As Eidolon draws his blade, it seems too that this creature is drawn its. Another blade of similar style, though perhaps double the length. This slender black blade with a curve to it, as perhaps there is another feature that stands out to you in this void, as it would seem this creature also adorns a helm. A rather large horned helm. It's coming back onto the battlefield, away from the void and from Rand's pocket dimension of nightmares and realities. Marcusar,
Oh, I really just am Venom from Venom.
You know, Venom from Venom.
Venom
A lot
from
like
Venom.
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 Movie Venom.
I'm using humor to deflect my trauma and what I just got told. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's Marcus.
Problem I don't know about.
It's your go.
My turn.
Yeah, your turn.
Hey, Eidolon, how good you looking?
21.
The issue
got
is that I
125.
cannot. The issue is I cannot get. I'm 5 feet short of you.
I kinda need the healing.
I cannot get to you.
Actually, technically, I don't know if this helps you, Marcus, but because I did walk through Gaerdrah, I should be here.
Nope.
He tried.
I can move. I can move 30 feet. No, I'm 10. I have a range. All my healing spells have a range of 60 feet, and the closest I can get to you is 70 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that unfortunate? I literally can't do anything for you.
Problem is, I kinda need it.
Well, I won't lie. I'm pretty low too.
Then heal yourself, man. Literally just heal yourself.
I mean, you could do the movement
I'm
heal yourself
wait.
and then move again next turn round.
I might. So, shall move up 15 feet, or 30 feet. Then.
Someone moved.
Let me double check
Sorry, I
on the. That's it. Yes, for my action, I would like to produce another flame and hurl it at this beast. So,
Give me some spicy hands. Rand would be proud.
He could, be here.
unnatural 20.
Yeah.
That will hit.
Sick.
If Rand could join us in this moment, he'd be proud.
If he wasn't in Brazil.
That's 38. Yeah. It's 12 damage on the dragon. Once
Dragon
again, just kind of
does not look
rubbing my hands and slinging it. And then I shall do a cheeky little healing word on myself. On the... Just a little one. That's not bad though.
As the dragon, still compelled by Wulfric. That's not his sheet. That is Gaerdrah's sheet. This is his sheet. Only one of those doesn't hit on a 13. The other one's a 23 and a 27. Where's my other room?
23 and 27 hit.
Oh, it's on the floor. I mean, on the floor.
Yeah,
What's
I
on the
will
floor?
clean it up when I get through there.
As Wulfric, that is 10, 16, 18, 26, 34 damage.
I'm unconscious.
Oh,
As
yeah, Paul, that's your priority now.
Ah, fuck, can I get... Hold on.
Marcusar needs to remap. My
Yeah,
sheet keeps
hold on.
falling down.
Wait, how was the damage split up between the two attacks?
It would have been 10, 18 on the first attack,
Uh-huh.
and then fuck, I can't remember what my other numbers were. 6 to
Okay, perfect.
16 on the second attack.
Okay. So the first one would have taken me down.
Cool. So you'd be on 1 fail
One fail.
because it's not letting you go.
Yeah.
You are the one that got away, and it is not letting you get away this time. As this thing rears up almost like a horse. Kind of like it was a horse all along, Paul.
Oh shit!
As with one claw and then another, it just scratches you, knocking you to the ground, and then uses the other one to just pin you. As Wulfric is unconscious underneath the dragon. As Eidolon.
My go?
Yeah.
Does it look like I might be able to bring him down this turn?
No.
No.
He's not looking great, but not with your damage output.
I will shower over to Marcusar first and foremost, however, because, well, the battlefield's obvious to everybody. It's not like we need to keep secrets.
It's a big open
You're going to be
field.
able to get Wolfric.
I think I can.
No need for me to worry then. As it probably would piss off Gaerdrah as I take away all my attention from Gaerdrah and turn to Marcusar. But we resume donking.
We move.
Let's give him 4 more attacks. 18, 27, 14, 27.
18, 14 miss, 27, 27 hit.
I'll roll the 18 up to a 20.
That'll hit.
Well, I hope to hear. 2d10 plus 5d8 plus 15. That's 52 points of damage.
Oh, you've been just dealing
After-
so much damage on this guy.
Showing over to Marcusar, it would almost be the... I like to imagine Gaerdrah even tries to bring the mace down. It just twirl around it, and then with the sort of open torso, just drive it in with a slash. Bring it around, then take the tendrils to where the blade went in, and pull the blade out and let the tendrils dig in. Don't really want to burn anything else there, which is a shame. How's he looking after that one, though?
Not great.
Can I also ask for 3 concentration checks for Ranagash's banishment? Because Ranagash is banished.
The problem is you've rolled that cumulative.
Don't worry, I can work it out for you. So for the first one, the lowest would be... So for the first attack, the DC is 10.
Okay, so he passes.
All of the DCs are 10. So it's just 3 saves.
Okay, so he passes all 3. Because his
Cool.
lowest is a 10.
Oh, darn.
Actually, I gotta make sure that's right. Yeah, the lowest would be 10 because it's half the damage, right?
Hmm.
At least I think it's half the damage.
Yeah, the highest I have there is 19.
I've never had to use concentration so much in my life. And it's weird.
Actually, wait,
'cause
no,
I play
my
casters,
My lowest is my lowest damage there was 22.
which
Half of
is-
22 is
11.
11.
So
That was on the last one. I don't know what his last roll was.
his first one was the 10.
Cool,
His
so never mind.
second one was
Nil.
21, and his
Nil.
last one was 16.
Okay, so they'll pass.
This is why
No,
sometimes cumulative
be fine.
damage is confusing.
I know, but it's also more satisfying.
It is.
It also makes it also lets marshals it lets marshals finally feel like casters.
Yeah, because you get to roll lots of dice all at once, which is something marshals don't actually get to do very often.
Well, technically I don't do it at all. I need to roll them piece by piece,
Yeah.
but I roll them all as one.
Right, I'm not going to forget about that now.
Please, only got one more turn left in him.
So, do you want the good news or the bad news?
For me?
Yeah.
Bad news always first, and then good news after.
So I got a nat 20.
Disadvantage removed it. He is poisoned.
The other, on the plus side, is the only hit that actually hit on the first set of dice.
Does he miss with the nat 20 now?
Good news. It turned it into a 28
Cool, that's not a nat 20 though, so I'm good.
with an 18 on dice.
Yeah, that's fine.
You remember that thing I said I forgot about?
Oh no.
Ah, it's a problem. Does that mean the healing I also get is doubled? Yes, it would do.
Yeah. Because it doubles everything, but it means that it also doubles the healing you get. So, as long as the damage I get... Actually, no! Okay, so I need to... So, if this takes you to negative hit points, Craig, keep that in mind, okay?
Cool. Also, question: the damage his mace is dealing is this acid?
Yes.
Good to know.
Well, it's acid split. So you would take 30 damage,
Cool. So that puts me to -9,
negative 9. Remember that.
and the healing I'd hopefully get is doubled. Well, yeah, it would be the damage.
No.
Then all of that would be doubled. Then it would be halved.
I lied to you. How much damage was that?
I have no idea.
What were you at?
I was at 21.
Then it
He
was
said
30
negative
damage.
30
9.
damage, so it should have been 60 damage. Because it's doubled. I didn't double it.
39. -39.
Um,
Oh god.
so that would be No, that wouldn't bring you back up.
What is it though? I still need it.
Only 20.
20. Cool. So negative 19.
But you are still unconscious, yes?
Yes. Well, I can't not be unconscious.
As Eidolon is now also unconscious.
The battle's turning against us.
Strangely enough, Gaerdrah doesn't really know what to do. Well, I don't have the actions left to kill him, so he's just kind of... Eidolon's now on the floor for 6 seconds. As Wolfric, can you give me a death save?
I think that's a no.
8.
That's the second fail.
Yeah.
It's okay, don't you worry.
Does Marksar have a plan?
I have a plan.
Okay.
Could you get us with a mass cure wounds from a distance?
I can.
You could run in the middle.
You can! If you got right there, you could mass cure wounds all of us.
Exactly. Would I get Ranagash as well? I would.
Ranagash
No,
isn't
I'm
here,
in
he's in a
Brazil.
demi-plane.
Well, get your way
Brazil.
back in the next turn, and then I can mass cure wounds.
I don't have a lot of say in the matter.
Marksar can be our savior today.
Bonus action. Is this a waste of a spell slot? I don't think so. I think it's kind of cool. As obviously Eidolon called over to you, Marksar, to go and help Wolfric. It kind of comes round to his turn, and obviously Eidolon has fallen unconscious as well. But it seems Hyde is intelligent enough to have noticed something about Eidolon during this fight, and perhaps just in general. As he kind of turns around, looks at you, kind of calls across the battlefield. Get that one, I'll get this one. As he
Okay.
kind of almost blips over, blinks over, runs over, and do you choose to fail this save, Craig?
I will. As long as it is going to do what I hope it does.
I need to roll. Add 30.
As I like to imagine that Gaerdrah's still in the pose, like holding Eidolon's unconscious body up with the mace. Because he did end his turn like that.
Yep, as almost as falling to the ground in those kind of seconds, retracting from the mace, this unconscious heap. Eidolon, you gain 65 hit points.
What did he do?
He used Finger of Death,
That makes sense!
because Hyde was
Nice.
smart enough to notice that you heal necrotic damage, which means you are healed by his blight.
And if that's 65 already halved, I'd hate to imagine doing that on a regular person. As I like to imagine Eidolon doesn't even hit the ground by this time.
As the mist kind of surrounds you, envelops you, as Hyde kind of runs over, kind of blimps or blinks into almost existence. As you fall, you feel a hand on your shoulder. This kind of almost, I guess, creepy feeling of something almost crawling around inside of you, repairing your body as it does so. Though you do feel, because of it and because of how it's done, that the blight is stronger in your body.
That's fine. It's not good, but essentially Eidolon's eyes open just as the ground's in front of him, so it's like a quick snap of the fingers, the tendrils almost erupt from there, pile into the ground, almost keeping Eidolon ever so slightly up, and since they're a lot stronger now, there's almost a flurry, like a burst, that pushes him back onto his feet. Stumbles ever so slightly, but catches himself.
As, thankfully, if you're unconscious, you can still make Constitution saving throws. Because coming to the end of this round of combat, I am asking everyone who's not
Oh, fucking damn,
in
I
the
could
void
healed.
to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, here's your pass.
13.
14.
You're down. You don't have to make a Constitution saving throw.
No,
He does,
Damn.
yes.
it does damage.
Okay. Oh shit!
No.
If
Did I
that's
fail?
if that's a fail, that's a...
Oh, could you not have held off for a couple of turns? Hold on. Save my fucking list.
Oh no! Oh, no! No, Wolf!
No! No!
DC's 15.
No!
This-
No!
You remember those jokes we made at the start of session about Marcusar being a statistical outlier?
Hold on, let me run the math real quick. I need to see what the average is.
No, Paul, there's no time.
Okay.
Paul, please say you have Revivify. No, it's
I-
only a cleric and paladin spell.
Okay, I do have a spell.
What is it?
Mhm.
I added a spell as I leveled up, but I haven't used it yet. Would DM allow me to change that spell that I have not used yet?
What?
There's something that could bring him back.
Is there any options on the druid spell list that could?
There is.
Which one?
Me of all people would know.
Mhm.
Oh!
Resurrection?
Reincarnate is what I have.
What level is that?
Do you-
Well, I'm looking at
Yes.
that's a 5th level.
It also requires 1,000 gold pieces worth of material components that are consumed.
Shit.
And it also takes an hour to cast.
Druids apparently can get Revivify, Craig.
Um,
Oh,
Can
no,
they?
it's, sorry, it's subclass. It's subclass specific.
Yeah,
Bugger.
it's wildfire.
Yeah.
It's a weird choice.
no, what I'm looking at, it just says Revivify. Druid spell list. No subclass.
I'm looking at the D&D Beyond Druid spell list, and Revivify is not here.
Give me 1 second, I'll check Tasha's, because Tasha's added
think-
spells to classes spell
I
lists.
think it's in Tasha's. My app lists it as optional. So that's suggesting Tasha's to me.
Give me
Yeah.
1 second, I'll find it and look. And if it's added in Tasha's ball,
What's-
you should be able to take it.
Here's the issue. What level is Revivify?
Third.
Yeah, it's
Third.
1/3.
Okay. Thank
It's essentially
goodness.
the quick player goes down, you make sure they don't die.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
on the additional druid spells and Tasha's.
Paul, you could have Revivify.
Will DM allow me to change that spell that I have not used yet?
Which spell?
I had heal.
Yes.
I have not used it. So, are you allowing me to change?
I will allow you to change heal for Revivify.
Okay.
We should have enough money among us where we can make up the cost.
What is
Revivify?
Revivify?
So Revivify
Like, what's
is
the
a diamond worth 3,300 gold,
Mm-hmm.
and because because it is a cost, you need to have that cost.
Okay.
Mm.
Do we have 300 gold amongst us? Can we put a tab on with the Watchman?
I mean, I'm happy to contribute all the gold I have, which is 45.
I don't carry money.
Mm-hmm. I only have 6.
Wolfric, how much money do you have?
Yeah, how much is on your dead body?
55 gold.
Ranagesh.
Are we allowed to use equivalent value?
The law of equivalent exchange.
Technically,
Because I do have an obsidian longsword that is both masterworked and enchanted. Which I think would probably be worth enough.
you do have the blade, which technically you could use. The blade would have value enough. And obviously, Marcusar, you would know this costs. And there is also
Yes.
something else currently on the battlefield that costs that amount of money.
I would just
That
like to. I would just like to. Sorry, go ahead.
Hyde is currently wearing Ferrith's heirloom.
Okay.
I would just like to add, if we can't puzzle shit out, I would like to draw attention to a document that I made in April of last year called The Last Will and Testament of Wolfric Reinbrand.
Let's hopefully not go there,
Mhm.
please.
Okay. So, are you saying that?
We have what we can use for it.
Okay.
Our price exists. We either get the amulet that Hyde has, or I pass you my sword.
Do I need to cast it within combat, or can I do it
So-
out of camp?
You've got a
Oh
minute.
wait, I have a
It is
minute.
instantaneous. The only problem is
Yes.
you need the amount on you when you cast it, because it consumes
I can't just
it.
like pull it from the people around me.
Mm.
So we have to end this combat in a minute.
You have got 10 rounds You have
That's fine.
10 rounds to
The
end
dragon's
this.
still here.
Okay.
Mhm.
The dragon can't do anything to Wolfric anymore. He's dead. He cannot
Oh,
be
that
any
means it
more
can
dead
target
than dead.
everyone else now.
Yes.
Cool.
So the dragon won't be focused on Wolfric, which is a bonus. There's nothing the dragon can literally do on top of this. You also hopefully need to finish this in a minute, because obviously if you don't, Wolfric will die, and then in 10 minutes something else interesting happens because you're in the blight. And
We're
I
gonna have to fight
barely-
zombie Wolfric if this doesn't go
No.
well.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Please, don't let those rulings come into effect, boys.
Okay. We have a plan.
Ranagash.
I'll try convince Hyde for the amulet, but if not, I'll just pass you my sword, Paul.
Okay.
Right, okay, it's my escape Brazil check, is that?
Time for Ran to escape Brazil. Ran, you have successfully escaped Brazil, and you are coming back to this interesting scene,
Yeah.
to say the least.
I believe Wolfric's actually dead. Like when we do the charts now, Wolfric has now officially died once.
Yeah, like this is an official
Yeah.
death. And Marcusar
For
wasn't
four
even
for
the cause of it.
4.
I know.
Kind
would've
of feels
thought?
a bit wrong. Not gonna lie. As Marcusar.
I go?
Yep.
Thing is, I'm really low, and if I go down, none of this can work.
Paul, heal yourself. Heal yourself if you're low.
Mhm.
Or get
I'm
into
going-
the center bit and mass cure wounds.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Because the
Move.
dragon's gonna come for you no matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Was about there?
Probably.
Is that 15 feet?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So. Yep. Mass cure wounds for myself and everybody else. Sorry, Wolfric.
A bit too late.
One turn of combat too late.
Mm-hmm.
That's so unfortunate.
We couldn't have importanted because Matthew just got back to this plane.
Yeah, so that's 3d8 plus d4 plus 4. 14 HP to everybody.
That's good. I'll take that. 79.
Hyde is back.
I can kill Gaerdrah with this.
Cool. Can't do anything with a bonus action. I can't even attack the dragon.
I mean, do you not have healing word?
I do have a healing word, so I can just heal someone else. Oh wait, I need to mark up this battle first.
Healing ward yourself, Paul. Keep yourself
Mhm.
alive.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that at a second level. I need these fucking hit points.
If you go down, this is all nothing.
Mhm.
3d4 plus 4. Another 10 HP there.
That's
and
good.
I burn a second level spell slot. I'm up to 66. End my turn there.
Odds Ran, evens Marcusar.
Cool.
Odds. Sorry,
Okay.
Ran.
Kind of okay. This is kind of okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ran, are you still on pretty good hit points because you were in that demi-plane for a while?
I got back up to max from that heal.
Okay.
The only damage I've
Glorious.
taken is from the con save.
Nice.
Cloud.
16 hit Ran.
It would, but I will shield because I can afford to do so.
As the dragon kind of almost turns around, stepping and stomping, where when it does, it almost replicates kind of effect you've seen Eidolon do, where it digs its claws into the ground and this almost blight travels, erupting underneath you for these tendrils and tentacles to attempt to rip into you, restraining you, and you are able to bat them away with your shield, not taking any damage. As Eidolon,
How bad is Gaerdrah looking?
not great.
Because there is a temptation, Paul. You're right next to the dragon,
Uh-huh.
and an obsidian sword auto crits on dragons if it hits. So I'm tempted to yeet it and stab it into the dragon next to you, so you just have the sword.
What? I mean, I do not have the best modifiers for attacking it, but I will.
I know,
pick
but more, I would hope that the sword would kill it since the dragon's already taken a lot of damage.
Go for it, King.
Does the dragon look injured, Em?
One
If not, then no.
one hit probably wouldn't do it even from an obsidian blade.
Cool. I'm focusing on Gaerdrah. I will turn to hide first and just say, do I know about the cost required for Revivify?
No, because you at this point, I guess you would have just seen Wolfric go down.
Then I can't help because that would be metagaming. I need to focus on killing Gaerdrah right now.
This was more
Might I-
knowledge for coming to the end of combat, if that makes sense.
Might
Yeah.
I be able to deal with Gaerdrah this turn?
If you got some really good damage rolls, or Ran helped.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want one
You
of
wanna
these
give me
bad
that?
boys? Yes, take the
What's
natural
better?
one.
What's better, a nat 20 on a 2d10 plus 5 or a 3d8 plus 5?
That's an average of 10. That's an average of the 3d8.
3d8, cool.
Higher
So
average.
I'll roll 3 attacks, and then we'll make the nat 20 the last one. So that's a 21, a 27, and a 29.
You may not need it. That'd be nice.
Here is first sword, second sword, and then there is the tendrils. I'm assuming he's still up.
Give me 2 seconds, I need to math. 33, 39, 49, yes.
Matthew, do I have it? Let's see.
Go forth.
16 doubled 32.
Fuck. Give me 2 seconds, I can't math.
No worries.
Hang
Take
on,
your
wait
time.
a second. If it auto crits on dragons and you're throwing that into a dragon, wouldn't that quadruple it?
It would. If I could. This is against Gaerdrah though, not against the dragon. It would be metagaming for me to know that Marksar needs that right now. Em said it would be for after combat, so I'm.
Yeah,
Is he alive?
Hell yeah.
So I do have an aesthetic if that's okay. Do
It's
you
your kill.
want Gaerdrah to do something after he dies, or am I okay just to kill him here?
I mean, it'll be kind of gruesome afterwards for what happens to his corpse, but that's me, not you.
I do have an image in mind though, because Gaerdrah got a hand on his shoulder, specifically his right shoulder, to become blighted. So I like to imagine Gaerdrah takes a step forward, but with the consistent amount of injuries, I like, because Ran helped, I'm going to include this in, a rather large burn mark on his shoulder. He attempts to raise up the mace for an upper head, but because of the burn, it's stunted, and his arm almost pauses for a second. Eidolon takes the opportunity, upward slashes with the blade, and cuts off his arm. Then, with that momentary distraction, Eidolon takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, turns the blade around in the air, and slashes in, not to behead him or anything, but carves into the crystal that would be embedded in his shoulder to create his blight, which, as all happens with blights, causes it to start cracking and bursting, which will, in a few seconds, milliseconds, explode. As having that crack in, Eidolon takes it, drives it in that last bit with his blighted hand, cutting into his own hand, and then rips it out, cleaving it in half. As I'm assuming at this point there's probably screams of pain.
Yeah, the kind of almost contorted difference is he almost blinks from that him to hybrid to wolf, him to hybrid to wolf. Kind of in amongst it all, that, I guess, more predator-esque appearance. As you're ripping it out, as you're removing it, as you're tearing the blight from his body, it almost starts to tear away almost sinew, flesh, muscle, bone along with it, as every fibre that the beast had given him is almost shredded with it, as what is left, he is incredibly scarred, he's incredibly cut, he's incredibly burned, his skin is shredded, his face is almost unrecognisable, there are parts of his body that are missing, almost looking like jelly, as the bones inside of them probably aren't even there anymore, as they've all been returned and broken, as his source, his essence, has been removed. So what is kneeling before you, very much dead, you can see it. There is nothing behind his eyes, as he is on his knees in front of you, almost paralysed in that pose. The mace completely turned to ash before him, as he is Gaerdrah. There is no light left.
To end this, Eidolon turns almost immediately, sword still ready at the side, ready to face the dragon. But takes that last moment, takes that last look at Gaerdrah. There's no tears, this man was a mass murderer. But instead just takes a long, heavy sigh and just You went too far, you fool. As with my movement, as Eidolon knows there's no time for pleasantries. Sup, Marksar? As knowing that there can be nothing left for that corpse, Eidolon will just leave it there. Blight can't really hang on to something where there's nothing to hang on to.
Rest in pieces.
I would kick him as I go by, but I feel that's a bit excessive.
Why not? Why not do it?
Do you want me to? Do you want me to?
I mean, if you would, he just crumbles.
Actually, I do have an aesthetic that I think would be kind of cool. As Eidolon sort of kind of swishes, since he is wearing the scarf, there's almost just a really light breeze of air as he takes off again that comes off of the scarf that just kind of hits very lightly into the pile, causing it to just turn into ash on the floor.
Yeah, it would just crumble. There is nothing left there supporting it.
As almost the speed of Eidolon taking up generates a small gust that causes the ash to scatter into the air. There you go. That's Gaerdrah dead.
Fuck
Very
yeah.
cool. Well done.
I got that
You're-
time.
You were in that fight.
Thank you very much. I'm ready to help you fuck up this dragon, boys. Sorry it took me so long.
We had it handled.
Cough, cough.
Maybe.
As Hyde attempts to channel some of his magic, though it seems there's perhaps a small disturbance, at least in him trying to regain some of his power, as his magic doesn't seem to work, it doesn't seem to apparate, it doesn't seem to do anything, as it almost fizzles out before it reaches the dragon, as I need you all once more to make me a constitution saving throw. Yourself included this time round.
Maybe 16's a fail? No.
It's good to be back.
With a 22.
Marksar, you take 3 damage.
God, I'm so happy Tasha's came out before this.
Just as a note, it's
Yeah.
been 5 rounds. A minute is 10.
We've got the time. We've got
Mhm.
time, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Me when I've got time.
We hopefully have time.
I have the really sad Wolfric tick box.
So all we need to do is kill this thing.
You've
In
got
these first
1,
few turns.
2, 3, 4. You need to kill it before it's Hyde's turn.
Can Marksar get to...
Wait, no, isn't it a round at 6 seconds and not a turn?
Yeah, round is
Right,
6
around
seconds.
6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Round is
So
everybody's turn.
Should be
Yeah, so
fine.
we're only on 2. We've actually got a lot longer than that.
It's only been 6 seconds. Apparently it's only been 6 seconds. This feels like a King Crimson moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've actually got a few more rounds than, or a few more moves than I actually thought.
Nah, let's take our time with it. You know, Wolfric's not going anywhere. You know.
As Ran.
Okay. So, first things first, I'm gonna do a bold move here. I'm going to willingly step away from the dragon.
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Mm-hmm.
Attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
13.
That would, you know what? That would hit, but I'm gonna reactionary shield it.
I mean, you could
Because
instead
I'm-
reactionary use your big explosive belt.
No, because that's only when it moves. So I could have used that when it moved. But I've been in Brazil too long and I forgot about it, which is a shame. But anyways, so bonus action, Crown of Stars. 1d20 plus 10. Does a 21 hit?
Yeah.
So 4d12 radiant damage. 27 radiant.
Oof it, doof
No.
it.
So let me make sure I get the numbers right on this.
No, that's not wrong. It's this.
Scorching Ray second. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, interesting. And so with my action, I'm going to upcast Scorching Ray to 6th level so that I get 7 bolts of it.
Fuck him up. Or her up, sorry.
That would be spicy though.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna
Hope we see lots of hits.
rapid fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. No, that is right.
I like the idea of Ran just chucking rocks at this thing and then them just exploding into
Mhm.
fire.
Oh!
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All but one.
So that's. It takes
Huge.
Do we end this
40
thing here?
fire.
Would you like to describe Matthew?
Hell yeah, back-to-back kills. I mean, I like to think it's exactly as you described.
Fucking yes!
You see Gaerdrah go down, and he's like, that anger is sort of just boiling over, and so he just sort of turns, takes a couple of step backs, blocks the thing, just looks it dead in the eyes, and just takes the 2 runestones that he handed and just fucking rapid fire blasts them between them, just constantly pelting it with 6 blasts. And it just burns away.
As we get into the climax of tonight, as the 4 of you are out of combat, Gaerdrah has been turned to ash and the dragon has been immolated, turned to cinders. However, as the mist clears, or at least as much as the mist can clear as it can in this besotted place, Wulfric's still unconscious. He's not moving.
I look around to like make sure there's no immediate threats at the moment, and then immediately rush over to Wulfric.
Just because I know this is probably the longest part, I would like to head over to Ranagash. And just say, you alright? No, Marcus, I was dealing with Wulfric, but I need to check on you.
Did not enjoy being in the demi-plane. I don't take my water calm down, but I think I should be fine.
Alright.
One hell of a fight.
You sure you're okay?
I'm fine.
Come on then.
Alright.
I check Wulfric's vital signs.
He's dead.
Yeah, cool. Maybe in the heat of battle, I maybe just assumed that he'd been downed. You know what? I haven't been on this side of the death, you know?
Like, he is cold to the touch.
Okay. I rack my brain of like my druidic past and knowledge and try and think what I can do to save him now and spare him my fate.
You think?
And then I immediately I call to the exactly. I think of Jocelyn and like everything she did for me. Think of my father and she and all that, and I call to everyone is like, get me everything of value that you have.
Eidolon immediately comes over with Ran, obviously, and does set down his blade in front of you.
I can give the ring because that's gonna probably be worth more.
Yeah, just like money, jewels, anything you have on you.
I will toss down my 5, my 6 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'll set down my blade, and alongside that, where Ran's small pile will be, I will add 45 gold pieces to it.
Okay. Bougie.
The only thing Eidolon does not put down, I think it's fair, is he will not put down his wedding ring.
No, you hold on to that one. With sword, ring, and everything. What do I have so far?
If Ran's putting in his ring, the one that Varian gave him, and if Eidolon's putting in his obsidian blade that has been masterworked and enchanted, and then the gold on top of it, you would be able to use that as core value.
Okay.
Marcusar would
I guess I
know
just like
that these items would be destroyed in the process.
yeah, I'll tell them it's like once I do this, these will be gone forever.
I see no problem with this.
I'll take Wulfric.
Absolutely.
A ring is a lot more valuable than a blade.
Okay, I kind of like place them all, like arrange them all on Wulfric's chest, you know, sword just like that, and all the coins and all the ring. Maybe I actually put the ring on Wulfric's hand, and then I just like kneel next to him, place my hands on all of it, close my eyes, and I'll mutter some words, I don't know what, and then I'd cast Revivify.
Can Ran and Eidolon give me a perception check whilst this is going on? And technically,
probably best.
Marcusar, can you give me a religion check?
Okay.
Man!
Religion check, sure.
can't believe I did perception checks better when I was in Brazil.
Matthew, it was the heat of the moment. You needed to look. You're getting comfy now.
I needed to survive in Brazil.
Matthew liked it in Brazil a bit more than he likes it here.
Natural 0.
It's impressive.
Ran was more proficient in Brazil.
Okay.
We should keep him there.
Strangely enough, in this place, in this darkness, in these mists, you kind of take a knee, take a prayer, and stand beside Bolfric, hoping, praying that your magic is enough to bring him back. Thinking of your friends, thinking of your family, and thinking of newfound friends, and perhaps a new path that you are treading, Marcusar. You feel a warmth kind of welling up inside of you, and something you've not felt in a very, very long time. You feel a breeze. All three of you feel a breeze. A warm summer breeze that seems to be carrying debris and dirt, leaves and twigs, and even a few blossoming petals that seem not to decay in these mists, as this gust seems to remove it. Creating almost a hallowed space, clearing a circle around Wolfric, clearing a circle around Marcusar, and letting sunlight into Ilvania for perhaps the first time ever since the Blight first attacked, where Wolfric is incredibly cold, his skin has gone very, very pale, and just because of where you are, decay is already set in quite quickly. In the sunlight and in the gusts of the summer breeze, that seems to start reversing itself. The tribute placed upon his chest disappears, turning into dust, turning into glitter, turning into twigs and debris that join with the wind as it is taking up into the sky. And as quickly as it came, it is gone. The mist is returned, heavy and weighted, and Wolfric, you feel like shit.
A typical resurrection.
However, in the elation of the moment, as Wolfric brings himself back to his senses, Eidolon, you notice something from the corner of your eye. As Marcusar has been conducting this ritual, conducting this ceremony, you notice that the ground, whilst starting to teem with life, has also started to crack. As you can almost hear a static noise in the background, where the mist emanating from the portal, from the archway, seems to be increasing, as almost a white light, a white tear, starts to appear in the archway, almost resonating with Marcusar's magic as Wolfric breathes his, second breath at a second life.
This kind of shoots up. They're dead.
So were you for a time. I stand up next to Wolfric and offer him a hand to pull him up.
Wolfric stands up.
The fight's not over yet.
It's really hard to explain what I saw over there.
I'm sure I would get it.
I saw hands. You killed Gaerdrah, didn't you, Eidolon?
Aye.
They're taking him somewhere. Wherever it isn't pleasant.
It's deserved. Wolfric, it's great to have you back, but something's not right. We need to be moving, and soon. As knowing Marcusar does have a good eye on him, I'd point him towards to where this white light is creeping.
I would also take this up when I was pulling him up to his full height. I'd give him a cure wounds as well.
How much am I getting back?
I'm kind of low on spell slots, my guy. But you are a 1 HP. Do I want to spend a 6th level spell slot on you?
Probably a good idea. 1 HP isn't a lot.
Yeah.
If you want to, go ahead and do that.
I shall. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 34 HP back.
34.
That's not bad.
I'm gonna afford myself to be selfish this one time.
Lay on hands.
I 70 points of healing.
We're back in business, boys.
70 points of healing, that puts me up to 105. How did the dragon kill me? Like, what kind of motion did it use?
It was almost like a piercing motion. It knocked you to the ground and just pummeled its claws into you. These puncture marks, these pierces.
Where would it have hit on Wolfric's body, just for any like lasting scars?
Probably like his shoulders, almost like center of his chest, so right in the middle of his collarbone, and then probably like in his rib cage, maybe on his left or his right side, kind of up to you. Kind of like that, almost grabbing motion.
I can feel the wind in my bones, and that feels weird.
Strangely enough, you get used to it.
I think I've lost a lot more blood than I probably should have.
Yeah, you also get used to that.
Alright, let's deal with this weird, funky white light.
Well, do we get out of here, or do we try to do something about this arch?
Is it as simple as just tearing it down stone by stone?
Hell if I know.
We remove the keystone. Without the keystone, nothing can come through.
It's just whether this is physical or... there's no fucking point worrying about it. Let's get rid of it. Come this far.
Alright.
Cool. You head up towards it. Hyde kind of standing in front of it, almost in awe, as this fissure starts to emerge, starts to open. Each step you take towards it, it almost seems to resonate and crack that little bit further. As Eidolon, every step you take, you almost seem to struggle more and more. You feel heavier every step you take towards it.
Yeah, saw this coming.
As for yourself, Marcusar,
Yes.
with a sense of newfound faith revigored inside of you, you can feel the portal almost resonating with you, specifically.
Okay.
Whether you're opening or closing it, you're not too sure, but you can feel every time you wane, every time you doubt, every time you worry, you can almost feel it feeding off of that.
I move to in front of the arch, and I try to muster up the feelings I had when I revivified Wolfric and like friends and family and faith and all that. And I would like to use Thorn Whip to try and loop it round the keystone.
Cool. Give me an attack roll.
Okay. So
What's the AC of a rock?
It does have one.
it'd be a magical rock. 26.
That hits it. I don't even have to check because I'm pretty sure the AC of a rock is 17.
Okay.
No, it's 17.
Haha!
So
Nice.
Object DCs.
it
Nice.
takes 3d6 damage, and I attempt to pull it towards me.
Towards you. Can you give me strength?
Saving throw or just a straight roll?
Just straight roll at athletics if you've got it.
I do not, so it's just a +1. 13.
Do we want to teamwork this, and like me and Wolfric can grab the vine and pull it?
You're all
DM
working
allow it?
together.
Does DM allow?
Give me advantage, Markstar.
Ah, hell yeah.
If
Two more
Markstar
rolls.
wants some help, that is.
That is true.
Is everyone...
Does he?
I'm gonna like whip it around and like, I'm just...
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe like this portal is like, I don't know, kind of pulling my feet away from under me.
You
Stuff
want
like
some
that.
help? You want some help, Marksar?
Be appreciated.
I'll grab on and help.
Yeah.
I'll do the same.
As Eidolon grabs on,
Ran, you went in on this.
Wolfric. Ran, you wanting in?
Rand's coming in.
We all
Yeah,
doing
I'll
this?
grab it. So
As-
don't roll with advantage. Don't
As
roll.
Eidolon,
Mhm.
as Eidolon grabs on as well, Wolfric will kind of like pat him to help stabilize him, but as he does, he's like, closing this door is gonna take whatever's keeping you alive. I'm not letting you drop, and I cast Death Ward.
I just hope
Oh,
that
shit.
does something.
Mhm.
I've been dead for a long time.
Don't roll it, Paul. Don't roll it. Take the 20. I will give you the 20.
You're giving me the 20?
It's a thematic moment. We need it to work.
Can we add all of our strength modifiers to this?
What would all of your strength modifiers be?
+1.
Athletics.
That'd be a
if you've got
+5 from me. Oh, plus
Plus
10
one.
from me.
10, 11,
Plus
10
6.
as well.
20, 21, 27. So that would be
30s? No,
that would
47.
be a 47.
This thing's coming down.
As you
The
rip the
dream
keystone,
team.
as you rip the keystone from it, and whether it was the keystone or whether it was something else, you're not too sure, but the fissure starts to almost blink, starts to crumble, it starts to struggle to maintain its doors, and the mist starts to clear, where occasionally, ever so slightly, these spots of light start to appear in the mist of Ylvania as sunlight starts to break through the clouds. However, as it starts to close, Eidolon.
I signed up for this.
Yeah, this was a bargain you made long ago, and now you gotta, well, pay up.
Yeah, I appreciate the death word, Ewan, but I don't actually think it's gonna work.
As
I had to guess.
you kind of have that moment of celebration, have that moment of alleviation where it all starts to crumble and the fissure starts to knit back together. You take a step back and Eidolon, you fall to a knee.
Eidolon almost gives a low, not chuckle, but just a low, simple laugh. Just, yeah, saw this coming. Fuck.
Fuck. As almost wisps of what remain of the mist create this almost sphere around him.
Wolfric's like, I can't have this. Eidolon, can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Do I have your bonus?
No, you will not have my bonus for this. This is a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 29.
Fuck. I'm
Sorry.
gonna do it again. I've got more first level slots. I will do it again.
Do you want him to fail?
I want to fail.
Because in theory, if enough time has passed, I could use my last portent for.
Do you just
Two.
roll a 19 again?
Yes, I rolled two
Yeah,
19s in a row.
Nice.
Right, I will use my final first level spell slot.
What do I get, Matthew?
You get a 2.
That's a 12.
So that fails. I'm casting command. One word. Live.
I don't think I can. I'm sorry, Mr. Stark. I don't think I can do that.
I want to read the wording of this.
I mean, I'm not in control right now. M's in control. You would hear after you say that, whether it works or not. You'd hear Eidolon shout out, "Yeah, I'd certainly love to."
As trying with all your might, trying with everything in your fibre of being to keep him alive, commanding him to do so, Eidolon, you feel a fight in you. You feel that surge start to channel back through you. You want to live. You do not want to die. Where you... Well, the three of you won't be able to hear this, but I'll describe the manifestation once the conversation has ceased. As Eidolon, you hear that familiar voice in your head once more. It is strange that they think that you can live this.
It's not they think, it's they hope. One is a lot more respectable than the other.
Then it is misplaced and foolish.
Well, all living life really is at the end of the day, when you get down to it.
And your purpose has been served.
Don't worry, I'm not an idiot. I accepted this coming.
You
I
got,
knew what I was getting myself in for.
you got your revenge, and for me, I got rid of the wolf. My deranged second. And thanks to you and your friends and your journey, I now know where I need to go next. Your usefulness is at its end. My work is just beginning.
Put me in the ground, that's fine. But no matter what you are, you're standing around the three people who won't exactly let that stand. So good luck with that. You'll really need it.
With the blight back under my control, I don't think that will be much of an issue.
Then it really seems that the one who has misplaced their beliefs would be you.
As there is this kind of deep chuckle in the back of your head as, well, you fall to the ground with the last thing in your head is the demon keeping you alive, saying farewell. As for the three of you, you will watch as the blight seems to be ripped from Eidolon in its entirety. This essence keeping him alive is channeled away, and this sphere seems to start to materialize as with it, it almost seems to sap his very essence. As the form that seems to emerge seems to be a little bit more corporeal, and, well, for Ranagash, very familiar. For Marcusar and Wulfric, however, it seems only familiar in that of books and in paintings, way back at the beginning of your journey when you ventured into the Temple of the Precursors. You once saw paintings of the Sidhe and the paintings of someone known as the Scourged Lord. I'm not giving up the bit now, Matthew.
Even now.
As it would seem, using the Blight and using Eidolon's essence, that figure seems to emerge in this bubble. Corporeal, walking around him, ever so often looking over his shoulder, his dark eye seemingly glinting at the three of you, and towards Hyde as well, who seems to be standing in awe at this whole thing, before, as the fissure is starting to close, the three of you are finally able to perhaps hear his voice more solidly, a voice that has haunted Ranagash many a time now, laughing on the wind as he disappears through the closing fissure, leaving Eidolon unconscious on the ground.
Unconscious?
Does anyone go and check on him, or do you just leave him there?
I go immediately to his side and check on him.
So,
I'll try a second level cure wounds.
Cure wounds, nothing happens. Marcusar, you can either give me a religion check or an arcana check, whichever
That's
you're
the
higher
same.
in.
I'll go for religion. Natural 20.
Fucking nice.
Good timing.
So,
I feel like I should just mute myself because I'm kind of just.
you're dead. Well, kind of.
No, don't say it.
As Marcusar, it would seem, whilst the Blight had pretty much control over Eidolon's physical form, it would seem that perhaps Wulfric's magic, his determination to keep Eidolon alive, perhaps did have some effect that the Blight couldn't touch. As Eidolon, for all intents and purposes, is technically dead. The body that he is in, or the body that his spirit would go to, is broken. There is no way to repair it. The Blight has left it cracked, broken, bruised. It is left it in a state where it cannot be inhabited. However, through your teachings, well, you know spirits live on. There is something after death for everyone. And it would seem, through Wulfric's magic, is Eidolon's afterlife, in air quotes at the moment, still seems to be tied to this empty vessel. If you could repair the vessel, you could revive Eidolon.
Wulfric's sheer force of will was strong enough to make sure someone didn't pass on to the afterlife. He told him to live, and he did.
However, before we come to those conclusions, or perhaps even how you could begin to revive Eidolon's body to allow him to return to this material plane, we end. You have defeated Gaerdrah, you have defeated the dragon, you have defeated the demons, but the Scourged Lord got away. And now, will you fight that little bit longer to save a friend? I guess we'll find out next week. As for me, it is goodbye, and for my boys, you saying bye tonight, boys?
Maybe a really big goodbye for me.
Bye.